Nominees and other appointees have been threatened, with at least 5 names known.
We begin with Trump's pick for CIA Director John Ratcliffe, then his nominee for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Brooke Rollins, his pick for Agriculture Secretary, and his nominee for the Environmental Protection Agency, Lee Zeldin, who says a pipe bomb threat was sent to his family with a pro-Palestinian themed message, and his pick for United Nations Ambassador Elise Stefanik.
Fox's Brian Yennis. The FBI says it's aware of numerous bomb threats and swatting incidents and is working with law enforcement partners. Defiance from Hezbollah in its first statement since a ceasefire deal with Israel, the Iran-backed militant group vowing to continue resistance and stand alongside Palestinian fighters. So far, the ceasefire in Lebanon is holding. Lawmakers for states recently hit hard by natural disasters keep pushing Congress to get busy.
Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia senators want an appropriations bill brought to the chamber floors next week. Funding would go to helping FEMA respond to future disasters, which the agency's administrator, Deanne Criswell, said is a necessity. The senators cite the destruction from Hurricanes Helene and Milton. They estimate at around $300 billion. A FEMA spokesperson says help can continue for victims of those storms through December 20th if no other natural disasters occur.
Fox's Gernal Scott. President Biden's asking Congress for $100 billion in disaster relief, including $40 billion for FEMA. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An officer in trouble. Cloudy, 41 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Plenty of rain. Currently on radar. Low of 34 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. An Indy Metro police officer has been arrested for hurting someone during a domestic battery incident. Sasha Nixon reports.
Whiteland police were apparently called to Officer Herman Means' home Tuesday night.
We responded to Countrywood Lane on report of a domestic in progress. Once my officers arrived, they began their investigation, and during their investigation, found probable cause to arrest.
That's Whiteland Police Chief Rick Shipp. Means will be placed on administrative leave while IMPD investigates. He is currently facing charges of domestic battery in the presence of a child and strangulation. Sasha Nixon, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you didn't already know, today is normally the busiest travel day of the year. The weather not really helping much. Some parts of the state could get snowed the next 24 hours.
Unless you find yourself in a very heavy band of precipitation, then the snowfall rates could overcome those warm conditions and start accumulating on the roads, but that's a very low probability.
Matt Eckhoff, a forecaster with the National Weather Service, says expect temperatures in the teens by the weekend. Schools were closed in Noblesville yesterday because someone made threats online. Kurt Darling reports the feds have caught the person responsible.
Rather, the child responsible. The FBI was brought in to help investigate the anonymous video posted online in which someone threatened Noblesville East Middle School. That someone was a 7th grader at the middle school, as federal agents were able to quickly track the student down and arrest them. They are charged with felony intimidation. School is out in Noblesville until after the Thanksgiving break. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Lebanon is a community ready for an economic boost, according to its mayor, Matt Gentry. He calls Meta's nearly $5 billion investment into the LEAP district a game changer.
People who live in Lebanon are very supportive of LEAP. They see the potentials of what this can do for their families. Certainly a lot of the resistance is coming from people in the rural parts surrounding Lebanon outside of city limits.
Gentry told WIBC's Tony Katz that the Lebanon City Council approved incentives that would attract the tech company to its advanced manufacturing and research park, and it looks like it's done its job. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We trust Bill to help us with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impacts on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5050. 5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income. That money's rightfully yours. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
Good afternoon, Harrison. Looking at the northwest side, Crash Pack Township on northbound 65 at West 71st Street. Left lane is closed. Traffic stop and go back to 465. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic. Westfield Boulevard over to the White River. Inbound 70 slow from Rural Street down to Washington Street, and inbound eastbound 70 stop and go traffic from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thanks, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rainy tonight into early Thursday with the potential for some snow to mix in. Can't rule out a light accumulation as lows fall into the low 30s. Then for Thanksgiving Day, partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the low 40s with a light breeze. I'm Wish TV Storm Track Game meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Thanksgiving Eve, everybody. My name is Nigel. Hammer is out. Ethan Hatcher, host of Saturday Nights on the Circle, is in. My man, Ethan, how are you?
I am a little frustrated, Nige. As you know, on my way into the studio,
Yeah.
my truck decided it would be a great time to crap out just before the Thanksgiving holiday when we're supposed to be doing the most amount of traveling ever. And here's
Man,
my
I'm
ass
sorry.
with a broken down truck.
I'm sorry. You would have been totally within your rights to call in and say, hey, my truck's crapped out, but you got your ass in an Uber. You're here, and I'm glad you're here. I
Well, I could have
appreciate
legged it to the studio. I live just 15 minutes away down on Washington Street. So, I mean, if I really got in a pinch, I could have, ran down
I would have felt
a couple
so
miles.
bad because it's pouring down rain right now, and you're so dedicated to your craft and this job. Thank you for making it here, man.
Wouldn't
And
miss it,
I
Mark.
really,
Wouldn't
really
miss it.
appreciate it. You know who I'm missing is I'm trying to still figure out who's in charge of this country here, this gap between the election and inauguration. President-elect Trump obviously taking over the latter part of January, but the most I've seen of Joe Biden was yesterday when he was taking credit, or it was yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, for the peace deal between Israel and Hezbollah, and he was taking all the credit for it.
Yeah,
obviously.
he's been down in the bunker, but as far as who's in charge, that's an easy question to answer. We know that. Halliburton, Raytheon, BlackRock.
There it is.
You're starting World War III.
Right.
Before President Trump is getting ready to be inaugurated, you know what would be a good idea? Let's authorize long-range missile strikes into Russia.
From what I understand, trying to get some more multi-billions of dollars over to Ukraine. I mean, you see Tony Blinken, Secretary of State, comes out and says, hey, before Trump takes office, I'm paraphrasing, we're going to do everything and make sure Ukraine gets everything they need.
That was the number one priority.
Number one priority for the United States, making sure some country that has no national security interest, vital interest towards our country, getting them all the money, all the missiles. I love how the goalposts have moved in Ukraine, by the way, because at first I was, no, we're not going to send missiles. No, are you kidding me? We'll just send money. And then all of a sudden, Patriot missiles are on the table. No, we're not going to send fighter jets. No. All of a sudden, fighter jets are on the table. No, we would never send tanks. Are you kidding me? Tanks? Oh, tanks went right over there.
Yeah, isn't that
right over there?
Funny
and
how
now
that keeps working.
And now Biden or whomever signed off on the dotted line. Yeah, long-range missiles that we made, that we gave Ukraine, that can only be operated in part by the United States. We'll sign off on and let Ukraine just kind of launch those puppies into Russia.
Well, you had that ex-Ukrainian official who recently went on the record to say that, 75% of all the money he estimated donated to Ukraine has been money laundered back to Democrats, which is why Anthony Blinken there is making it his max priority to launder as much money as possible before the Democrats lose power.
Not only that, but then the vice president, the incompetent, nowhere to be found wine mom, Kamala Harris, America's mom, Mamala, as what's her face, Drew Barrymore called her
on bended knee, on bended knees, plural. That was so weird.
Somebody had asked, like, the DNC, the Democrats, like all the staffers are mad. Like, where's Kamala? And Karine Jean-Pierre says she's taking a much-needed vacation, time off. Oh, she's had it so hard. I didn't know you got, like, legitimate time off, like vacation days, when you had that much power, you were in power. I mean, at least Joe Biden, you're still working when you're not working, right? I don't know about Joe Biden, but I know Donald Trump, even when you go down to Mar-a-Lago, he's still working, even though he's not in the White House. Joe Biden's asleep out on the beach. Kamala, who the hell knows where she's been at the past couple of weeks?
Well, I think they found Kamala. They found her at the bottom of a bottle.
Listen to this. I'll tell you exactly what we're talking about. Let me play a clip. Kamala Harris has broken her silence. This is what her staffers put out. This is what her people put out, a 29-second video. It's a small part of a longer video. The whole thing is so cringe. I want you to just listen to this. This is Kamala's statement last night after her trouncing in the 2024 presidential election.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
I mean, that is something that you'd say to somebody like the bridesmaid would say to her bride after getting drunk and at the end of the wedding reception.
Well, hell, this sounds
This
sounds like a funeral speech. She's on the verge of crying.
What's she talking about in the video? She just looks haggard and defeated and demoralized. And my point is, I immediately thought, boy, who's ever left on her staff, her handlers must hate her because they let her put that out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that was, go back.
Who thought that was a good idea?
If you want to abuse yourself over the holiday weekend, go back and watch the 9-minute video. This is a woman that wasted $1 billion for her campaign, still millions and millions and millions of dollars in debt. Still, from what I hear, fundraising to repay that debt.
To pay the $20 million back after blowing $1 billion. And this was the woman that was going to fix our economy.
Oh, I think we literally and figuratively dodged a bullet. And she did sound drunk. I mean, she did. Yeah. I know, believe me, I know what that sounds like. I was a pro at it. I've got some exclusive audio here for you.
Oh.
Actually, this is something you sent me. I don't know how you got this. The moments before Kamala Harris recorded that statement, she was like walking around behind the scenes with a breathalyzer. Like one of those little personal breathalyzer tests.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen this.
And here is the audio right before she recorded that segment.
You're wondering whether I'm still the liquor. No. Guess what? I'm on top of the liquor. I am the monkey in charge of bananas. What's my secret? This little device right here. I just take a little blow, and it tells me when it's time for a little top-up. Because when I first got this, I used to ride at around 0.20, which is f***ing wasted, 24/7. But now, I leave it at 0.12, which is perfect. It's right in the f***ing slot, just past the click. I'm sober enough to know what I'm doing, and I'm drunk enough to really enjoy doing it.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't think that was Kamala. I think that was Leahy.
Well, you could have fooled us.
From Trailer Park Boys.
Love Trailer Park Boys.
Right there in the zone. You got to be 0.12. That's the zone. 0.2, you're wasted. You can't function. 0.1, you got a little ways to go. You just cap that off with a little hit there.
You know, the great irony about the actor there, John Dunsworth, I think was his full name.
Oh,
he passed away a
yes.
couple years ago.
Yes.
Very, very sadly.
R.I.P.
But everybody else on the production, amateurs, he was the only theatrically trained, like, Shakespearean actor in the production, and then he's playing this degenerate drunk around the trailer park. It's so golden.
I love it. I only recently, within the past few years, probably 2016, 2017, discovered Trailer Park Boys, and I could just go down a rabbit hole with that show.
It's amazing.
I think you can find it on Netflix. Meanwhile, actress Sharon Stone Do we care what Sharon Stone and Alec Baldwin have to say
You want to talk about somebody who's past their prime, Sharon Stone? When was the last time anybody cared about her?
Well, that, as Don Lemon would say, past her prime.
Yeah.
Here is Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone is lecturing Americans. She's calling them ignorant and arrogant. After Trump's 2024 win, she's at some film festival in Italy, and then you'll hear at the end they say something about Alec Baldwin as well, who's at the same fest.
Sure, Sharon Stone blasting the state of our country after President-elect Trump's election win. Listen to this.
My country is in its adolescence. Adolescence is very arrogant. Adolescence thinks it knows everything. Adolescence is naive and ignorant and arrogant. And we are in our ignorant, arrogant adolescence.
Okay.
We haven't seen this before in our country.
The Basic Instinct star's remarks came at the same Italian film festival where Alec Baldwin said Americans are, quote, very uninformed about reality.
78 million Americans, ignorant, uninformed. This is an adolescent country.
You know, the great irony here is naive, ignorant, and arrogant is how most people would describe Hollywood.
Right.
And then here she is lecturing us.
These elitists that are wagging their fingers. Why does Alec Baldwin, out of everybody who never apologized for his role in the death of the cinematographer on the set of Rust, that Western, he never apologized for it. I mean, at the very least, he may not have been, I mean, the charges were dropped and everything like that. I think there was some sort of civil settlement or payment, but never apologized. And I would be all over myself. Who cares what these people have to say? And the reason I'm playing that, I just want to put that out there, is that they're still talking down to you, talking down to me, talking down to the average everyday American, saying, yeah, you're too ignorant. This is an adolescent country. You're removed from reality. That's what they think of you. That's what the Democrats think of you. And it's pretty much par for the course, Ethan.
They think that you're removed from reality when they're in this ivory tower.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, Matt Baer, my man, what's up?
All right, Nigel, looking at northbound 65. On the northwest side, crash at 71st Street, blocking the left lane, causing stop traffic back to 465. Inbound 65, dragging from 29th to Meridian Penn. Inbound 70, stop and go traffic from Rural Street down past Washington Street. Eastbound 70 from the west side, stop and go after Holt Road into Meridian, Illinois. Pockets of slow on the south side, eastbound 465, 70 past Kentucky, and again 31 over to Emerson Avenue. On and coming down from Fisher, southbound 69, stop and go traffic 106th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Oh, man, so gross out. 44 rain at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
WIBC wishes you a happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, it's the women of WIBC, Casey Daniels and Terry Stacy. What are you looking forward to the most this Thanksgiving?
I'm looking forward to spending time with family and then maybe a little shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have enough time to separately wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, we're plotting out our Black Friday shopping, that's why.
Wishing you a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
From 93 WIBC.
Hey, don't show up to Thanksgiving dinner empty-handed. If you're not into cooking like a macaroni and cheese side dish, maybe pick up a bottle of Barkeep vodka. Barkeep is local. It's made in Indy and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers, and it is the cleanest vodka ever. They use a new compression filtering process, reduces all the bite and burn and aftertaste, and I'm telling you, it's the smoothest vodka we've ever had. It's a better value than almost all the other top-shelf vodkas. Pick up a bottle at any grocery store or liquor store, barkeepvodka.com for a list of locations.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good? Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Mobile Unlimited. Plus, for a limited time, find out how to get an $800 holiday bonus prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online to ComcastBusiness.com today. Ends 12/15/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Connection Pro. EcoBill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indie. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indie, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indie, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndie.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndie.com and grow your hair back today.
Hearing about online threats every day can be stressful. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? You won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. Act fast. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends 12/4/24. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Planning to propose this holiday? Shane Company is ready to help you find your dream engagement ring. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. So when you walk in the door, you can trust your rock is in stock. At Shane Company, we've always sourced directly, cut out the middleman, and pass the savings on to you. We work with your budget, not against it. We'll also protect your ring for life with our free unmatched lifetime warranty. Come see us at shaneco.com and in-store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max used for adults only.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Avoid Black Friday frenzy at Sullivan Hardware and Garden with donuts, coffee, and mimosas early on the 29th while saving big. Shop, play, experience. Christmas with Sullivan's.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store. Hammer and Nigel.
You'll feel like a much more productive member of society if you think of stimulus checks as a paycheck for staying home and day drinking.
On 93 WIBC.
Yeah, I'm Nigel. Ethan Hatcher, host of Saturday Night on the Circle. Is it Saturday night? Saturday night on the Circle.
Saturday night from 7 to 9.
Great broadcaster, great home renovator.
Yes.
And lover of
animals, antiques, artistry,
the turntable thing. Yeah, I mean, you travel like you should. I caught that. I mean, this guy like travels to Pennsylvania for antique turntable.
Yes. Well, I
what
have
are they
friends
called?
in Pennsylvania.
Phonographs.
Phonographs.
Yeah.
I have over 50 of these machines, man.
That's incredible.
From like 1890 to 1950 or thereabouts.
I need a better hobby, I think. I don't know what my hobby is. I don't think I have a hobby because I'm so like ingrained with the kiddos and stuff.
You look like a guy who'd be a good fly fisherman.
A good fly fisherman?
Yeah. I could just see you like studiously wrapping a wire around, a hook.
No, I can't even do like the automatic fishing poles, where you put your thumb down on the button and just launch it. Like when I was a little kid, I can't do those. I have no clue. Now, I did want to mention real quick, because you kind of had a hot take, you said, about this week, 37 years ago, one of the greatest comedies and Thanksgiving movies of all time, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, was released into movie theaters. Steve Martin, John Candy, 37 years old this week. Do you agree with my assessment?
I mean, look, it's a fantastic movie. It's a wonderful film. It deserves all of its accolades and gravitas, and its beloved position in the holiday roster of films that we watch.
Yes.
However, many people say, like, oh, that's my favorite John Candy movie. No. Best Steve Martin movie? Absolutely. I love Steve Martin in that role, but John Candy's best role is Uncle Buck. Bar none. John Hughes. The pinnacle. That is the best. That is John Candy at his John Candy-esque. So that's my hot take. I love Planes, Trains. I'm definitely not besmirching its name in any way, but it's not the best John Candy film. Best Steve Martin film? Sure. John Candy's pinnacle is Uncle Buck, and I will die on that hill.
Has anybody in this room ever seen the movie Summer Rental with John Candy?
No.
Beautiful, sweet family movie from the mid-'80s.
And he's great in roles like that.
John Candy he plays a burnt-out air traffic controller that takes his family, like they force him, his company or his management forces him to take like 2 months off because he's so burnt out, and he rents a house in Florida for 2 months, and the shenanigans that ensue. And I recommend Summer Rental if you have not seen that John Candy
will check it out.
movie.
I love John Candy movies, and he does best in those roles where they have a lot of heart to it.
He brings his family. He's got 3 kids. And then Steve Martin, have you seen All of Me with Lily Tomlin?
Yeah.
Where Lily Tomlin dies and somehow she enters half his body.
Yes, it's been a minute, but I did see that one.
I mean, another one where I remember being a kid watching that with my dad, and I didn't know why some of the parts were funny, but my dad was dying laughing, so I just laughed along with him. And then as I grew older, it's still like when they're in the bathroom.
And isn't that
like when he's trying to take a leak in the bathroom and Lily Tomlin's trying.
And isn't that the best kind of movie though, where like you grow with your appreciation and with your own matriculation?
Yes. Yeah. First of all, I go visit my dad on the weekends, my biological dad, and I would watch movies with him that probably, I think I was talking to Guy Relford about this with him this week. I just go watch movies. I would watch the movies that he wanted to watch.
Right.
Not necessarily the ones that were kid-friendly. So
not always age-appropriate.
It was Revenge of the Nerds. It was Friday the 13th. It was Nightmare on Elm Street. It was... And then movies like Summer Rental and Ghostbusters and things like that.
Were you Porky's kid? I didn't get to see that until I was an adult.
Oh, yeah. He was one of those guys. My dad is one of those guys. My biological dad, who's still around. I talk to him all the time. He was one of those guys that had a VCR, but he had it hooked up to a camera, like a handheld video camera, like you would take home movies with. You used to put it on your shoulder, and he had it hooked up.
And this was hooked up to the VCR?
Yeah, and so you could record the movie. We'd go to the movie rental place. We'd stick the movie in, and he could record it onto a blank tape in the handheld camera, the movie home theater. And so he had cabinets full of just blank VCR videotapes with all these movies on it. Depending on what setting, you could sometimes fit 3 different movies on one tape, depending on what setting you put it on. And I just had the pick of the litter when I was a kid, because sometimes he'd be gone.
So you had your own streaming service before that was a thing.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, we'll be back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
If you're looking for a deal that can't be beat, get over to the friendliest folks you'll ever meet at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield with Black Friday deals running all month long. Now's the time to save big or let them come to you. With Ford Mobile Service, expert maintenance is just a call away, so you can put more time back in your day. Get it, Andy Moore? More time? Schedule your service easily through the Ford Pass app and get oil changes, tire rotations, and more right at your doorstep. And check out the selection. Head down to Andy Moore Ford and explore top picks like the rugged Ford Bronco and the all-electric F-150 Lightning. Trust me on the Lightning. These things are fantastic. Seating for up to 5, intelligent backup power, onboard power for all your tools and gear. This all-electric truck is built for adventure, work, and everything in between. Shop Black Friday deals now at AndyMooreFord.com. That's Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R. AndyMooreFord.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An IMPD officer arrested. 40 degrees, rainy downtown. It's probably going to keep raining the rest of the day. Snow possible later, with lows dropping to the lower 30s. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Whiteland police were called to IMPD officer Herman Means' home on Countrywood Drive last night. There, they determined he had beat another woman.
It was a female that was injured in the domestic that lived at the residence.
Whiteland Police Chief Rick Shipp. Means was taken to the Johnson County Jail. He's currently facing charges of domestic battery, the presence of a child, and strangulation. You've probably heard that cold air and rain are moving through Indianapolis today, but is that rain going to turn into snow? Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service says it could.
Some places could experience a brief changeover to snow, which might amount to up to an inch, or a few places might get lucky and have a locally higher amounts than that if they find themselves under a heavy band of precipitation.
Northern Indiana's got the best chances for any snow. They could get about an inch of accumulation. Ukraine's European allies and the U.S. are sending the country some more help. Here's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Stepping up support, 7 European nations are promising to bring much-needed assistance to Ukraine's military. The Nordic and Baltic countries are already among Kyiv's biggest backers relative to their size. They're vowing to help Ukraine manufacture more weapons and produce additional ammunition themselves. Europe needs to take greater responsibility for its own security, says Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden's urging Ukraine to ease its shortage of troops by lowering the draft age from 25 to 18. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
You may have heard that Meta, Facebook's parent company, has struck a preliminary deal with Lebanon. The agreement could bring up to $4.8 billion in investment at the Leap District.
We started discussion with this actually close to 2 years ago. So the IDC and obviously having the land combined and having the land kind of assembled for the Leap District helped us attract Meta to Lebanon.
Lebanon Mayor Matt Gentry told WIBC's Tony Katz the project will mostly focus on data centers. It's going to take up about 1,500 acres in the southern part of that Leap District. It's near State Road 32 and County Road 450 West, if you're curious. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. It's 3:33.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee, so you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 30th. So call now and you'll save even more. Here's the number: 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
With traffic at 334, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
Wet, Harrison, please turn on your headlights. Northbound 65 on the northwest side. Crash at 71st, blocking the left lane, causing stop traffic back to West 56th Street. Inbound 65, stop and go. MLK to the north split, 11-minute delay. Eastbound 70 from the west side, stop and go traffic. Tibbs Avenue into the south split for a 23-minute delay. East side, southbound 465 slows from 70 down to Brookville Road. Eastbound 465 on the south side, stop and go traffic after 31 past 65. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Are you ready for Friday Frenzy? Join us Friday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. for donuts and coffee at Sullivan Hardware and Garden as Sullivan, Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rainy tonight into early Thursday with the potential for some snow to mix in. Can't rule out a light accumulation as lows fall into the low 30s. Then for Thanksgiving Day, partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the low 40s with a light breeze. I'm Wish TV Storm Track Game meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Truth bomb coming in. This one gonna hurt.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
That's right. You can't stop this.
93 WIBC.
I'm Nigel. Ethan Hatcher in for Hammer. I forgot, in addition to being a master home remodeler, great broadcaster, and a good bud, you're also a great artist. I'm looking at this.
Thank you.
This picture of Rob Kendall's dog, his dog that he had to say goodbye to a couple of weeks ago, Bruce Kendall. There's a depiction on the dry erase marker board here that you put together. How long does something like that take?
I usually work on stuff like that for a couple hours while I'm in here on a Sunday shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, and you put that out there on your social media,
if you want
right?
to see a picture of that, you can find that on my social media at Ethan Hatcher, ETHANHATCHER on the Twitter machine. And I think Rob Kendall also shared that on his Facebook and Twitter page.
I was bummed out yesterday at the beginning of the show. I told Guy Relford this, who was filling in for Hammer yesterday. The news of Noblesville schools having to shut down basically a day early because of that social media threat that came in for specifically Noblesville East Middle School. I think they just shut all the schools down, even though they said it wasn't credible. Out of an abundance of caution, we're going to shut down. And knowing what that school went through a few years ago with an actual school
Was that the same
shooting.
school?
Well, it was Noblesville West.
Okay.
That went through the school shooting and ended up injuring a teacher and a student. The teacher, a hero, obviously, threw the basketball at the shooter and tackled him and was able to subdue him. But geez, what just, if you're a parent, I couldn't imagine what you're thinking. Oh, great, another threat against Noblesville schools. And going into the holiday weekend, I think they did the right thing in shutting down. But my take was, whoever this is, whether it's a student, whether it's an adult, arrest them and take them to jail. That's exactly what happened. It was a 7th grader.
Yeah.
At Noblesville East, who was in jail last night. I don't know if he's out now.
How old do you have to be when you're 7th grade? Is that 13, 14, 15?
Yeah,
maybe?
I believe 13. I think 13 or 14. I think 13.
13, yeah.
I'm pretty 13 or 14.
13 is a little young to be ruining your entire life and be the focus of an FBI investigation.
Well, look,
talk about some major mistakes.
He's facing a low-level felony. It's a charge of intimidation. But, yeah, they took him. I think the juvie facility is in Noblesville, I think.
Any felony when you're 13 is a major felony.
I understand, but
life has gone drastically awry.
But once he turns 18, that's all going to disappear, isn't it? I believe.
I would hope so for him. This is a circumstance where I hope the kid gets some counseling. I hope he learns a serious lesson from this, and I hope he is able to fix his life.
I don't know. I have no clue. Obviously, it's a juvenile. We don't have access to who that is. I'm not sure I want to know who it is or even care. No. But his parents must be mortified. Or it may. I don't know what the circumstances are. Maybe there's no parents involved, or maybe there are parents involved, and it's a rogue kid. Sometimes you can do the best with your kids, and they still get into trouble from time to time. But making a social media threat to a school online, not only is that dumb and ignorant and like you're not going to get caught in this day and age, but it's effed up.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
what's
maybe
going
we
through
can
your
interpret
mind?
that as a cry for help from this kid because
Maybe,
he made no attempts to, conceal his identity. And maybe that's just because he's a stupid 13-year-old, or maybe it's because that was a cry for help.
Do you watch? Look, I'm not trying to pretend like I don't know who these guys are. I know they've been big on YouTube for a while. Young Turks.
Yes, they are very prolific amongst the left community. They are left-wing populists.
And who's this guy? Because we played
Cenk, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Unger.
Cenk Unger.
Or Unger.
We play Uger, whatever.
Yeah.
So I know these guys have been around for a while. I know they are, and I understand they're big in the left, and so I'm not gonna like try to downplay like, I don't know who these guys are, but they've been in the news lately. That guy has got into it on Piers Morgan with another lefty a couple of weeks ago. We played the audio of that about how whoever he was battling had predicted the election very, very, very wrong, and he was calling the guy out on that. I
think that was Alan Richter.
Was that who? Yeah. We played that audio. It was really good.
I played that audio on my show too. Cenk has been having a bit of an epiphany recently regarding the left.
Well, I think a lot of Democrats have.
Yeah,
mainstream Democrat. When I say mainstream, I want to say sports Democrat talking heads like Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, their highest paid personality, went on Bill Maher's podcast recently and said, the Democrats got their ass handed to them, and they don't have anybody on the bench. They didn't have anybody on the bench. They don't have a plan for 2028. And it's kind of, even, what's this guy, Carville. I don't know if we're going to have time to get to that audio or not. That old dude.
Well, recently Cenk had actually tagged Elon Musk, who's going to be one of the two new heads of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. And Cenk, playing along, said, hey, I have some suggestions on where you could make effective cuts to government. And of course, that appeased his left-wing sensibilities. But Elon responded right back and said, tell me what it is, brother. I'm listening.
Well, yeah, Elon listens. Yeah.
And Cenk, he went on to talk about that and say, you know what? And nobody from the upper echelon of the Democrats had ever asked him for more information. And here's Elon Musk, who's about to be part of an important government agency, and he's like, yeah, tell me more. And if we can find an area of commonality and intersection, then we can move forward.
So speaking of Democrats not having a bench, the reason why we're talking about this guy from the Young Turks is he believes Jon Stewart, Daily Show host, comedian Jon Stewart, the guy in Half Baked that said, you ever own weed? That guy?
Yes.
He said Jon Stewart is the future of the Democrat Party. Quote, my first choice would be Jon Stewart. We'll win easily. It will be a landslide. Does that hold water with you, Ethan?
I'm not sure it will be Jon Stewart, but it quite possibly could be someone like Jon Stewart. I think Jon Stewart is a little bit past his prime in regards to cultural relevance, but look at what's happened with Donald Trump. This is the age, I think, in which maybe the entertainer makes a more effective politician than a politician.
That makes sense. Donald Trump, besides being a real estate mogul, multi-billionaire, and host of reality TV, at least Donald Trump, when he came into office, had some experience making deals, talking to people, dealing with that sort of environment where you have to go. A deal is a deal, right?
Yes.
You shake hands, you get people what they want on both sides. A deal is a deal. He knows the art of the deal, I believe, is the book.
The other thing is I think that the left, whether they've learned the lesson successfully with this election or not, remains to be seen. But they can't rely on identity politics anymore. Right-wing populism has been an enormous boon for Donald Trump. And I think if the left wants to succeed, they may lean into a left-wing form of populism that someone like a Jon Stewart could take the head leadership of. Now, that the left-wing populism used to be Bernie Sanders, and they pounded him into the sand. But he was enormously popular.
Hillary and the DNC did him dirty.
Indeed.
But yeah, like the identity politics is the politics of the Democrat Party, and they probably need to shift away from that, especially since they spent years and years and years telling you how Donald Trump was a racist, misogynist. He's Mika Brzezinski from Morning Joe on MSNBC went on The View and said he's going to kill women. He's going to just do all these things, and then all of a sudden, women ended up voting for him. millions of new voters in the minority community voted for him. And so Democrats' heads are spinning, and people that watch those shows, their heads are spinning because, wait, you told me all this time that women and minorities and Barack Obama is disappointed in, quote, the brothers for not voting for, if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you're a misogynist and you hate women. I'm disappointed in the brothers. I mean, like, who are these people to wag their finger and tell you who to vote for? Especially, does Obama identify, does anybody in the minority community identify with Barack Obama? Especially when he's lecturing you from his perch on Martha's Vineyard,
well,
or hanging out with George Clooney.
I think there is still an enormous fondness for the legacy of Barack Obama among the many millions of Americans who did vote for him. However, clearly that fondness and nostalgia did not translate into supporting the
nothing
the
translated,
right?
Especially there, Kamala Harris campaigning on the trail with Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney's daughter. The face of the American establishment?
Or she's paying Beyonce millions of dollars and doesn't even do a performance.
Okay.
Failure.
All right. We'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We trust Bill to help us with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impacts on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income. That money's rightfully yours. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
40 years of B Window.
And 80,000 Indiana homes with windows, doors, siding, and bats.
Pam and I are happy to announce B's 100 employees now own B Window, and Patrick Renard will lead B as CEO.
And B will continue the customer-first feeling that George and Pam built. And to celebrate B Employee Owned, B's offering our Black Friday sale. 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates, and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Proud to be employee owned. Woo!
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Express the heartwarming message that says love is about being together. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be the symbol that says, I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Join Sullivan Hardware and Garden early on Friday. Enjoy a little breakfast and save on gifts, decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Shop, play, experience Christmas with Sullivan's.
Matt Bear, any traffic out there?
Yeah, Nigel, looking at the northwest side crash, northbound at 65 at West 71st Street. Left lane is blocked, and traffic is stopped back to Lafayette Road, 25-minute delay. Looking at northbound 465 northwest side, stop and go, 86th Street up to 865. Inbound 65 dragging from MLK to the north split, 10-minute delay. Eastbound 70 stopped from Tibbs Avenue into Meridian, Illinois, for a delayed time of 14 minutes. Looking at the east side, southbound 465 stop and go traffic before 70 down to 74 and inbound 70 slow from Sherman Drive to the north split. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Are you ready for Friday Frenzy? Join us Friday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. for donuts and coffee at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
44, kind of gross, lots of clouds, lots of drizzle at the American Standard Heating Weather Center on 93 WIBC. It's the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Nigel. Ethan Hatcher filling in for Hammer. Friday, are you a Black Friday guy? Are you going to go shopping?
No.
Even in your business, like in terms of like remodeling homes, rehabbing homes, does that industry have deals and specials?
Oh, absolutely, man.
On
If
Friday?
you want to get some tools, now is the best time than ever to go to your favorite home improvement store. They come in 3 flavors: blue, orange, or green.
Okay. So Black Friday is for shopping. We all know that. That's going to happen here in a couple of days. But I bet you didn't know what it's called for plumbers on Friday.
Oh, what is this?
While Black Friday may be an extremely busy day for retailers,
Cha-ching!
This Friday is also the busiest day of the year for plumbers. Clogged sinks, broken garbage disposals, and, well, the day after Thanksgiving. That's why it's called Brown Friday.
Just a reminder, do not put these items in your disposal. Animal bones, celery, asparagus, corn husks, coffee grounds, grease, pasta and rice, potato peels, eggshells, onion layers, or turkey skins. This message brought to you by plumbers who would rather stay home after Thanksgiving than dealing with you and your family.
There you go. Brown Friday is what it's known for. Plumbers, their busiest day of the year.
Donnie Burgess, newsman Donnie, who actually just transitioned to a new job down in Bloomington.
Love Donnie.
He had done a news article about this last year, and
it's a real thing. Wait a minute.
It is a real thing.
Brown.
Ask Denny Smith about it sometime. He's had to deal with Brown Friday before.
Okay. You know what? I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to get a hold of Denny Smith and. Hey, let's have a conversation about Brown Friday.
We were talking about Steve Martin movies earlier. Have you ever watched Parenthood?
Yeah.
I think it was 89.
Yeah.
The diarrhea song.
Diarrhea. If you're running into first and you're feeling something burst, diarrhea.
Yep.
Slide into third and you feel a juicy turd, diarrhea.
That could be the anthem of Brown Friday.
Running into home and your pants are full of foam, diarrhea. Diarrhea. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, I think you got the gist, man.
Okay.
It sounds like you sang that a few times.
Do we have that audio? Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you about real quick here, Ethan. You sent me something. I was stunned. I had heard this. I didn't know if I was missing something on this, but we were talking earlier about how much Joe Biden is sending to Ukraine. They're going to do all they can to send more billions and billions and more to Ukraine before Donald Trump takes office. But Biden and his administration invested $7.5 billion into EV charging, electric vehicle chargers.
Yeah.
And they produced just 8 charging stations for 4 years. And this is under Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary.
Is
this real?
Yeah, this is real. And for all the crap that people are giving Sean Duffy for being the Trump nominee, nobody has been a less qualified transportation secretary than Pete Buttigieg.
Well, they were talking about Pete Buttigieg possibly being on the ticket for 2028. A presidential run.
They're still running on identity politics, man. Not a record.
comparison. So the Department of Transportation, led by Mayor Pete, spent $7.5 billion over 4 years for just 8 charging stations, which is a complete and utter failure. I do seem to remember Pete on one of those Sunday shows, and they confronted him about it, and he's like, "Well, it's just going to take a while for this to ramp up." It's a complete abject, utter disaster.
How many years have we been hearing about high-speed rail in California?
Oh, they destroyed that.
Yeah.
I think Gavin Newsom put a hold on that, or just the cost went through the roof. They had the estimated cost of the high-speed rail, and took it times 100, and that's what it ended. And they didn't even finish it. I think they put a stop to it, or maybe they're resuming it now. I'm not sure. I don't have a problem with EVs. If I could afford one, I'd take one to and from work every day, but I ain't going on a long road trip on an EV. I don't care if it's a Tesla, even though the Tesla has, thousands of superchargers all across the nation. I like electric vehicles. I'm not one for taking it on a road trip. I'll still trust gas or diesel. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Here is Jiffy Lube of Indiana's COO, Lonnie Hinkle.
Lots of Hoosiers belong to unlimited car wash programs because they want their car to look great. At Jiffy Lube, we're here to help you make sure your car runs great. So to help take care of your car inside and out, Jiffy Lube is offering everyone who belongs to a monthly car wash program a $20 discount and a free tire rotation from now through the end of the year. Just point out your car wash sticker and we'll do the rest. My Jiffy Lube teams are maintenance experts. Our computer system provides all of the manufacturer's maintenance recommendations for every make and model of vehicle, so we know exactly what every car needs to operate at its best. Jiffy Lube is your trusted one-stop shop for all that your car needs to run well for many years. You never need an appointment, and we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores. So stop in on your way to the car wash, save $20, plus get a free tire rotation just for belonging to a monthly car wash program.
Jiffy Lube. Nobody does it better.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and this holiday season, you gotta visit Miss Mary's gift shop at Sundown Gardens for great holiday gifts and decor. Now's a great time to stock up on all things holiday, and the greenhouse still has all your live greenery needs. Come shop for fresh-cut trees, wreaths, garland, and porch pots. Sundown Gardens wants to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Sundown Gardens, located at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com. That's sundown.gardens.com.
Building a home can be fun with Joiner Homes because they handle everything. Permits, schedules, their in-house architectural team and design studio where you choose everything is in one spot. So you're going to be able to focus on the fun stuff and not sweat the heavy stuff. Joiner Homes builds beautiful, unique homes that are character-rich, smart design homes that are affordable. Visit joinerhomes.com and be sure to check out their 5-star Google reviews. That's joinerhomes.com.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
This Thanksgiving, Target makes hosting easy with our lowest prices of the season, like Good & Gather Premium Turkey for 79 cents a pound and quality green beans for 55 cents. Or classic stovetop stuffing on sale for $1.99 and delicious Favorite Day apple or pumpkin pie for only $4.49. Plus, get unlimited same-day delivery with a free 14-day trial of Target Circle 360 to make planning even easier. Save more on hosting. Happier holidays from Target. Restrictions apply.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
Coming up in 2 minutes, an IMPD officer has been arrested after a domestic battery incident. A 7th grader in Noblesville arrested over threats that shut down the school Tuesday, and how the weather will impact your holiday travel. Those stories and more all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
It's crunch time for holiday travelers. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. And anyone hitting the road for Thanksgiving has plenty of company.
The speed limit says 70 miles an hour. I'm going 30 at the moment.
Fox Business' Jeff Flock on the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
They say before this holiday is over, 80 million people will travel on planes, trains, and automobiles. And when it comes to automobiles, that's 70-plus million.
Gas prices are about 20 cents less than last Thanksgiving. No major problems at the airports.
More than 5.8 million people are expected to fly domestically. Stormy weather moving along the East Coast and shortages in air traffic controllers could cause more delays this week. Travel experts are encouraging folks to pre-plan their trip before they even head out to the airport in case they hit bad traffic or long lines.
Fox's Christina Coleman at Los Angeles International. FlightAware reporting more than 2,500 delays now and not many cancellations on flights into, out of, or within the U.S. President Biden is already on Nantucket, continuing his family's tradition of spending Thanksgiving off the Massachusetts coast. But the White House says he has been briefed on threats made against Trump nominees and that he condemns threats of political violence. Incoming border czar Tom Homan just telling Fox News the threats are unacceptable.
For Republican or Democrat, I mean, no one that serves their country should be under threat.
Homan says there should be a strong response once the source is found. The FBI says it's working with partners on numerous bomb threats and swatting incidents. Nominees for CIA director, defense chief, and UN ambassador were among those targeted last night and this morning. Former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez, convicted of bribery, wants a new trial. His defense team now arguing the jury saw things it wasn't supposed to on a laptop used during deliberations. Menendez and 2 co-defendants are scheduled for sentencing in January. A retreat on Wall Street, the Dow down 138 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A cop arrested. Rainy 40 degrees on the Circle. Temps tonight. Supposed to drop down to the lower 30s. We'll see if we get any snow. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. An Indy Metro police officer has been arrested for hurting someone during a domestic battery incident. Whiteland police determined last night that Officer Herman Means had battered and restrained a woman at the home, and now...
The initial report that we have our investigation is forwarded to IMPD for their disciplinary hearing for their officer. As far as the investigation of the charges being done, will be done by the Whiteland Police Department.
Whiteland Police Chief Rick Shipp Means is going to be placed on administrative leave while IMPD looks into the whole thing. A 7th grader at Noblesville East Middle School was in jail Tuesday night. He's accused of being the person behind a social media threat yesterday that canceled classes at all of the district schools for the entire day. The FBI helped track down the middle schooler, who now faces a low-level felony charge of intimidation. You probably know that today's the biggest travel day of the year. Forecasters say that rain's going to move through the area. Well, it already is, but the further north you go, that rain could wind up turning into snow.
Unless you find yourself in a very heavy band of precipitation, then the snowfall rates could overcome those warm conditions and start accumulating on the roads, but that's a very low probability.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service says when you look toward this weekend, temperatures probably going to be down into the teens, so bundle up. You may have heard that Meta, Facebook's parent company, is in talks for a deal with Lebanon. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
This deal could mean almost $5 billion into the LEAP district, says Lebanon Mayor Matt Gentry.
We started discussion with this actually close to 2 years ago, so the IDC and obviously having the land combined and having the land kind of assembled for the LEAP district helped us attract Meta to Lebanon.
Gentry, speaking to WIBC's Tony Katz, says that the project will focus on data centers covering about 1,500 acres in the Southern Leap District. The first phase of the project could create 50 jobs. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. It's 4:04.
Terry Stacy here, and it's always an experience shopping at locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark. And Black Friday starts early at Cynthia's. Today through December 2nd, take 25% off everything you can fit in a new, larger bag, plus one item that's too big for the bag. Few exclusions do apply. Cynthia's 4 locations are filled with beautiful, on-trend gifts. For kids, too, like Ms. Rachel, the hottest trending toy for toddlers. She's the new Mr. Rogers. Cynthia's has a huge gourmet selection with Stonewall Kitchen, South Bend Chocolates, and the new Crockstar Dinner Club meal kits that make entertaining easy during the holiday season. Cynthia's also has fun holiday cardigans, Grinchy tunics, and holiday lights and merry sweatshirts. Infinity mirrors take your holiday decorations to the next level with LED lights creating amazing optical effects, Santas and snowmen, nativities, and more. Shop family-owned Cynthia's Hallmark, celebrating 40 years in January. 116th and Allisonville Road, 116th and Brooks School Road, 96th and Lantern Road, and in Greenfield.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05. How's it going, Matt Bear?
Harrison, we are still cleaning up a crash on the northwest side. It's northbound 65 at 71st Street, blocking the left lane, causing stop traffic. Back to Lafayette Road for a delay time of 42 minutes. Inbound 65, stop and go before 21st to Meridian Pad. Southbound 465 on the east side, dragging from 72 Washington Street. And on the north side, eastbound 465 is sluggish. Westfield Boulevard over to the White River. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rainy tonight into early Thursday with the potential for some snow to mix in. Can't rule out light accumulation as lows fall into the low 30s. Then for Thanksgiving Day, partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the low 40s with a light breeze. I'm Wish TV Storm Track Game meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Ethan Hatcher in for Hammer. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Thank you for joining us. We are live. We're streaming WIBC.com. You can tune in for the video on YouTube. Just type in Hammer and Nigel, WIBC, whatever. You'll find us. Ethan Hatcher, very active, interacting with the people on the YouTube stream. Yeah, you and Hammer have this ability to do multiple things at once. Like you can concentrate on the show, but also interact with everybody that's on this.
I think that's part of the fun. You know, you want to interact with the audience.
I can't compartmentalize. I just have to either do one or the other. I can't do the show and then also look at. But man, you and Hammer and even Rob has the uncanny ability to do multiple things at once. And I don't have the brain space for that.
Well, the trick is you do it during the commercial break.
Okay, all right. Well, students at Lebanon High School. I saw this on Wish TV this morning. News gathering partners of Wish TV. Did you see this? They were planning I don't know if it happened today or not. They were planning a second protest today.
I didn't see the first protest. Now, what are they protesting? Is
they
the
don't
principal some mean words?
Yeah, the principal like abuse, like verbal abuse, like calling the kids names, and they say one of the teachers confronted the principal about that, and they were unjustly fired. And the guy's name, the principal guy's, he's Frank Meyer, is the principal, verbally abusive. And so here's a little bit of the report. I just want to play a little bit of this report from Wish TV, and this you'll hear starting with some of the kids chanting in Lebanon High School in their hallway.
Gabriel Kellogg says he did not start the protest against his high school principal, Frank Meyer, but ended up leading it on Monday.
Nothing was really working, so I just kind of took charge, and after that, everyone just started looking towards me for leadership. He was very unprofessional, and he was commonly giving derogative comments towards students, like calling them piggy or they're too ugly to get dates to homecoming.
Kellogg wants to see real change. His idea, more input from the community, and a final say vote when it comes to hiring those who lead schools.
Now that really made me laugh at the end. One of the students' demands is final say vote over who they hire to lead the schools.
That's amusing.
I mean, what corporation in America takes into account, or at least maybe, okay, they'd get some advice or maybe some input from employees, but what corporation or school corporation for that matter, yeah, you don't get a final vote. You don't get a final say on who is hiring who at that level, the administrative level.
This is a generation of children that have all been given gold stars and the entitlement that comes with it. I mean, you know, I'm sure you were much the same way, but even me being a child of the 90s, I grew up in an era where kids have no rights. And producer Gerald, feel free if you want to hop in too. Kids had no rights when we were growing up, you know? So for them to put on a protest is just a joke to me.
But it wasn't. You watch the footage that Wish put out there, our news gathering partners, Wish TV. The so-called protest wasn't anything more than, you know, a few students in the hallway repeating a generic, unoriginal slogan, and there were other students breakdancing in the background. So I don't know how serious this was. I mean, it was serious enough that the news was covering it, but.
Could have been a slow news day.
Yeah.
Right
the other laughable thing is that they're demanding final say on the school corporation. Give me a break.
Yeah.
But yeah, I grew up like a Tri-West man. I don't know. Look, if there's verbally abusive accusations, probably need to be addressed, right? I mean, the principal is verbally abusive, then maybe.
Okay, I'm just going to cry foul here and say I don't believe it because all these kids have smartphones. They got cameras walking around, and not one of them caught this on footage. Like, look, you show me the receipts at that point, because if you're saying that the principal is calling students piggy and that they're too ugly to get a homecoming date, you know, for the upcoming prom, then, you know, look, somebody's got to have a camera whipped out and take a recording of
I feel bad. Like, I kind of chuckled when I heard that. I kind of like covered my mouth. Am I supposed to laugh at this? I mean,
well, in the 80s, that was fair game.
And the students, if they're disrupting class too, they probably need to be held accountable for that as well.
Yeah, because especially if they're breakdancing in the hallway like Ray Gun from Australia.
No. Whoever this student was in the background of that footage had moves well beyond ray gun.
Oh, okay. So they were actually
She was like breaking it down. She was actually good. That student at Lebanon High School in the background of that footage breakdancing. Ray gun sucks.
When you said breakdancing in the background, I just had
No. I was impressed. I was very impressed. It's a headline. It's a headline that you sent me that I thought was interesting, and I'll let you make your point here. But I don't know why people are so involved or pay attention or care what Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are doing.
Oh, like producer Kurt. Producer Kurt's really fond of Meghan, as he's been telling us off the air.
Yeah. She's the best. I love Suits.
Suits is a great show. She is... And she's 43 years old. That's my wife is around that age. I mean, she's hot. I mean, I like an older gal. I mean, 43 is not old, but man, she's
well preserved. But formaldehyde will do that.
So I don't know. She released some sort of statement after a solo Thanksgiving appearance amid what they're calling a professional separation from Prince Harry.
A professional. They say that their working relationship is very strained. And I see this headline and my heart sinks because I'm thinking to myself, this broad has been, she has been the enormous beneficiary of everything Prince Harry, a literal Prince of England, has brought to the table. He burned bridges and family relationships right before the Queen of England is dying, just so he can appease this woman, literal Prince of England, and not good enough for Meghan Markle. What hope do us mere mortals have if a Prince of England is like, pass? I can do better. What's the next step up?
Trust me, I know for firsthand. I outkicked my coverage of my wife. I don't know how she's put up with me for 16 years.
Evidently, she's got a better temperament than Meghan Markle.
Yeah, you're right though. For especially guys, single guys these days, if Prince Harry's not good enough, who is a war vet, like a legitimate war vet, for England, for the UK. I mean, like he.
Dude's got literally everything going in his favor and evidently still isn't good enough to appease this broad. I don't understand.
How misogynistic, sexist of you to use a horrible word like broad. Now, okay, so professional separation. I have a feeling a divorce is in their future. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, speaking of divorce, I think Lyle Menendez, his jailhouse wife, divorced him. There's a source in California Department of Corrections, Lyle and Eric Menendez, right? They've been in prison for like 35 years for double murder. They murdered their parents.
Yeah.
Okay. And they say they've endured years of sexual abuse. Prosecutors say that it was because they were greedy. They wanted their inheritance.
Money.
And so there's new proof now or something that there's this like renewed interest in the Menendez case. And people are looking at that case now, and there might be a pardon involved, or at least letting them out of prison. I'm not sure, but I believe Lyle Menendez got married while he was in jail. They've been in again for 35 years.
Isn't that weird?
She just divorced him. I am assuming. Look, and the reason I bring this up is because they got divorced. I'm assuming there's conjugal visits involved.
Yeah.
Right in the San Diego Department of Corrections. And here's what they're doing for Thanksgiving. Here's what everybody at the Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego is doing for Thanksgiving. Turkey slices, mashed potatoes, green beans, peach pie, says one source in the California Department of Corrections. And they're going to be watching football all day. Not much else to do. But it's like, that's what I'm doing. And they're in prison, locked away. Well, does that make, I'm just saying, Ethan, I'm doing the same thing that the Menendez brothers are doing.
I mean, in fairness, I imagine they're probably getting like Hungry Man microwaved turkey meals. It's probably not freshly prepared and carved by mom, All
right, my man, Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
Nigel, Southside crash, westbound 465 at Emerson Avenue. It's on the shoulder. Looking at eastbound 465 on the south side, stop and go traffic from 31 over 265. Inbound 65 is slow from 29th Street to Meridian Penn for an 8-minute delay. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic after Harding into the south split. Crash northwest side, northbound 65 at West 71st Street. Left lane is blocked. Traffic is stopped past Lafayette Road for a 40-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Matt, you want to come in here a little bit after 5:30 and hang out for a little while?
Yeah, man, I'm there.
Okay, we'll do it. Matt Bear live in studio here about 15, 20 minutes. Up next, it's Is This Anything right now, 43 light rain at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Schools were closed in Noblesville because of a threat. The FBI was brought in.
93 WIBC.
7th grader at Noblesville East Middle School charged with felony intimidation.
Hear the news.
Rain to move in around dinner time tonight.
How hard the precipitation can come down.
Temperatures this weekend in the teens with the wind chill.
Another news update is minutes away.
Leading NFL from 5th to 10th after their loss to second-ranked Ohio State this past Saturday.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Making the holidays magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. My wife and I were just there with our son, picking out something special for his birthday. Lots of amazing gift ideas. Eternity bands, diamond stud earrings. Hey, guys, if you're looking for a great gift for your wife or girlfriend or your daughter and you don't know what to get them, diamond stud earrings. Always a classic, always a home run. Hey, maybe you're looking for an engagement ring. Maybe a holiday engagement. You're looking for that engagement ring. Don't do anything until you've gone to Diamonds Direct. They got perfect gifts for the season, all starting at about $300. It's your best destination, no question, for that special holiday jewelry gift. And with Diamonds Direct, you get ironclad warranties and white glove service. The Diamonds Direct is known for. And they're going to help make your purchase even more affordable. Diamonds Direct always has special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get details, special showroom hours, and the holiday gift guide out now, diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct over there at Keystone at the Crossing, the best jewelry store ever.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
I've been a loyal Window Nation customer for a number of years now. Been saving money on my energy bills. In fact, experts are saying heating costs are going to increase up to 23% this winter, and that's why you need Window Nation windows, which, by the way, are 50% off.
I'm a Window Nation customer, and with this deal, you can be a Window Nation customer. 0% interest for 5 years, but you got to hustle. This deal ends November 30th. 866-90-NATION. Call today or go to windownation.com.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but you can still protect yourself from online scammers with McAfee Total Protection. From fake delivery texts to bank alerts, scams are everywhere. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. McAfee will help keep your devices and identity safer and your private info private. Visit McAfee.com/online protection and get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends 12/4/24. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Strike gold with the best ticket deals of the season.
Halliburton on the move, bouncing it into the lane. You will not see a better pick and roll than that. Turner dunks it with the right hand.
Pacer tickets starting at just $5.
Now he goes behind the back. Turner for 3.
Gold Friday presented by KeyBank is your chance to get tickets to some of the biggest games starting at just $5. These deals won't last long. Head to Pacers.com/Gold Friday. That's Pacers.com/Gold Friday to get yours.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's jewelry experts.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Ethan Hatcher in for Hammer. I'm Nigel. Ethan, a video of a teenage girl throwing an all-out tantrum at an AT&T store in Atlanta is going viral. Her mom, and I think rightly so after you hear this clip, her mom decided to take her phone away and was there to cancel her daughter's plan. Here's a quick clip.
Mama, please! I'm your daddy. You ain't going. No, yes, I am. Please, no.
So I play it again because that music was playing.
Mama, please! I'm your daddy. You ain't going. No, yes, I am. Please, no.
I'm assuming just by the teenage girl's reaction, probably the right move.
Probably well deserved.
Taking the phone away. I don't know. I got younger kids. They got phones. They're closely monitored. And it's basically for getting a hold of them if they're at a friend's house or something. And I would certainly have no problem taking them away if there was a problem. But I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, it's pretty much par for the course for a lot of teenagers who are addicted to their phones, addicted to their iPads, addicted to their video games. I think my kids, I don't want to. I'm not bragging. I think they get an even balance of playing outside with neighborhood kids and playing outside with others and very active outside. But then at nighttime, they do like to relax and look on their screens. And, I think Fortnite's involved in there somewhere. Do you have any reservations about young kids being addicted to their screens?
I think as long as they get an appropriate balance, then it's up to the
try
parent,
to.
you know. And it sounds like your kids have a little slice of heaven out there in Zionsville. Must be nice getting a slice of Americana and the suburban lifestyle that has since passed so many of us by.
Well, look, I grew up in redneck Liston out in the woods. I didn't have neighbors I could go just walk down the street and play with. I was, catching lightning bugs, which is awesome in the summer, but doing it by myself or doing it with young siblings, I didn't have.
What the hell happened to the lightning bugs? Because
I
remember a lot more of those around.
Yeah, but are they just, is it kind of more out in rural areas like where I grew up? Out in Liston?
I mean, they used to be out at Pleasant View where my dad lives, and he still lives there, and there just seems to be fewer of them. Maybe more people moved in. That's possible.
A college kid in Seattle managed to walk away unscathed after a huge tree fell on his car.
Ooh.
God, could you imagine that? Just driving along, it's Thanksgiving break, boom.
Every so often you hear about this, but they usually die, so I'm glad this guy came out unscathed.
Here he is. Here's Tyson talking about what happened.
I kind of just slumped back in my chair, in my seat a little bit, bracing for impact, and sure enough, the tree crashes. I tried to open my driver's side door, no use. The tree was totally horizontal on my car, and I was stuck. She said, well, do you want me to take your picture? And her reasoning, she said, well, you might never get to see this angle again. So at first it threw me off, but then she was right. Even in the moment, even as I was trapped, a bit of gratefulness. And once I was pulled out, I gave them the tightest hug. I was so thankful to go home that night.
Yeah, the tree landed on his hood. He was trapped. There was just enough room. He wasn't hurt, but couldn't get out. I mean, you were just in an accident.
Yes, on Denny and New York Street, somebody blew a stop sign and T-boned me, and pushed me into a stationary parked $80,000 Cadillac and totaled that vehicle too. That was fun. That was a good time. Ended up in somebody's yard.
Was it on the driver's side or passenger side that he T-boned you?
He impacted on driver's side,
but
then pushed me into one of these lovely new elevated curbs that they've put on the east side, curb islands, and so I got hit on both sides, consequently, and then I crashed into passenger side into the Cadillac. So good times. Good times
if I was driving along like this kid and a tree landed on my car, I would think seriously like my life would flash before my eyes. Did you have anything like that happen when you really? Did you see it coming?
Well, I saw the accident coming, but the scariest thing that's ever happened while driving was while I was on I-70 approaching 465, there was some construction work going on. And a steel ball bearing about the size of a golf ball flew through my passenger window at about 70 miles an hour and embedded into the passenger headrest of my truck, dented the metal plate behind it. So if anybody had been there, that would have been curtains for them, or if it had came through the driver's side window.
Bro,
I still have that steel ball bearing.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, it was embedded in the back of my headrest. Of course I'm keeping that. Wow. It's a little memento.
Yeah, I was on the only serious car accident I've ever been in. We shut the interstate down for like 3 hours. I think it was August of maybe 99. We headed 465 south, right over Crawfordsville Road, and there was construction, and some guy turned into us. We T-boned, like he got out of his lane because it was like there was orange barrels and stuff, and the lanes kind of switched over.
Ow.
And he just ran right into us. He T-boned somebody else. Somebody ended up having serious injuries, going to the hospital. I had like whiplash for a week. But like that shut down 465 south on the west side for literally 3 hours on a 90-degree day in August.
Ooh.
It was, I'm not going to sit here and say I was in my buddy's Jeep Cherokee he was driving, but I did kind of, I saw the accident coming. This guy turned T-boned us. And the other time I was on the way home, my buddy was driving his car. It was 3 o'clock in the morning over on Fall Creek Road by the state fairgrounds, and we were at a bachelor party. My buddy had not been drinking. He doesn't drink, but some guy T-boned us again.
Oh.
It was a different car, different buddies. But this guy was obviously hammered. My guy driving got out, and we could tell, dude, you want to trade insurance cards, man? Insurance cards? You got your card, bro? Got your card? And the guy just took off. After that, we waited for the police. And I remember I had to pee so bad. so bad because we had been at my buddy's bachelor party. I think we were at the Garter or something.
Yeah, that beer goes right through you, man.
Oh, my gosh. I had to pee so bad. And I didn't want to get out and get a ticket for public urination when the cop was on their way. They ended up finding the guy because we got his license plate. And the guy said, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I didn't have my car that night. Because the detective walked up to his house, saw the damage to his car. Obviously, that's the car that we saw. I wasn't driving the car that night. And the guy's like, yeah, the detective told my buddy, there's nothing I can do. We don't have any proof. And that's the way it works. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair. Your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no-interest, no-payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
How many times have you done this? You know you're going to have family over, and you're like, we don't have the kitchen that can handle this. Why haven't you called Boer already? This is it, guys. The last year, you work in a kitchen that doesn't work for you and your family. You are calling Boer. Boer Remodeling, 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-852-5546 or online at Boer, BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A cop arrested last night. 41 degrees, cloudy downtown. Radar shows plenty of rain covering the northern half of 465. Low at 34 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. Whiteland police were called to IMPD officer Herman Means' home on Countrywood Drive last night. It's there they determined that he had beaten and restrained a victim.
It was a female that was injured in the domestic that lived at the residence.
Whiteland Police Chief Rick Shipp. Means was taken to the Johnson County Jail and is currently facing charges of domestic battery in the presence of a child, as well as another charge for strangulation. Several of Donald Trump's cabinet nominees and a few other appointees have been the targets of bomb threats recently. Trump spokesperson Caroline Leavitt says they were targeted with threats to their lives and those who live with them. President Biden has said he's against any and all political violence. Police are looking into all of those threats. Some politicians in states that got the worst from hurricanes this year are asking Congress for more relief funding. Here's Fox's Gernal Scott.
Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia senators want an appropriations bill brought to the chamber floors next week. Funding would go to helping FEMA respond to future disasters, which the agency's administrator, Deanne Criswell, said is a necessity. The senators cite the destruction from Hurricanes Helene and Milton they estimate at around $300 billion. A FEMA spokesperson says help can continue for victims of those storms through December 20th if no other natural disasters occur. The Biden administration has requested $100 billion for disaster relief, $40 billion going to FEMA. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
It wasn't pretty. IU basketball lost to Louisville by 28 points this afternoon.
I'm not going to let us forget this game. I mean, because this was embarrassing, and you got to give Louisville credit because they played their butts off, but we didn't play Indiana basketball, I didn't think.
IU head coach Mike Woodson, after the defeat to the Cardinals in the Bahamas, was the first loss on the season for Indiana. They're going to play again tomorrow. It's a 2:30 tip. They're either going to play West Virginia or Gonzaga. That game's tied at 71 apiece right now with 5 seconds left. So the Hoosiers have to wait just a little bit longer to figure out who they're going to play tomorrow. It's a tough day in the market as well. The Dow was in the red by 138 to 44,722. The Nasdaq down by 115 to 19,060. The S&P 500 down by 22 to 5,998. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We trust Bill to help us with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impacts on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income. That money's rightfully yours. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
With traffic at 4:34, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, looking at the northwest side, crash cleanup continues on northbound 65 at 71st Street. The left lane is closed. Traffic is stopped to Lafayette Road for a 37-minute delay. Downtown, southbound 6570, crash before Washington Street, blocking the center lane. We are stopped through the north split past Rural Street to Sherman Drive. And inbound 65 is loading up. Not quite stopped, but definitely dragging from 21st down to the north split. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Are you ready for Friday Frenzy? Join us Friday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. for donuts and coffee at Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville, Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rainy tonight into early Thursday with the potential for some snow to mix in. Can't rule out a light accumulation as lows fall into the low 30s. Then for Thanksgiving Day, partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the low 40s with a light breeze. I'm Wish TV Storm Track Game meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The universe is a cruel, uncaring void. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The key to being happy isn't the search for meaning. It's to just keep yourself busy with unimportant nonsense.
On 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Ethan Hatcher in for Hammer. Matt Bear, you sweet traffic bastard. Live on a Thanksgiving Eve edition of the Hammer and Nigel Show, in studio, on camera, streaming on YouTube, on the YouTubes. Just type in Hammer and Nigel in the YouTube search engine. You'll find us streaming live right now. And first, I want to go to Ethan real quick because I know your background, Ethan. As growing up with the J-Dubs, right? Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm assuming Thanksgiving was out. That was not part of the.
You're so right. Thanksgiving is out, but there's actually no reason, even the theology there. I mean, it's not patriotic. It's not nationalistic. That God isn't at the center of it, or, a false God, as they would say. So there's not a reason why Jehovah's Witnesses shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but they don't because it's really about no holidays.
When you finally turned your back on that, and walked away from it, and you were able to kind of do those things, was it oh, this is awesome? What have I been missing? Or was it?
Yeah, it's a lot of what have I been missing?
Yeah.
But it's hard to get into the holiday spirit when you don't have the background to build on, and because it's tradition. And if you lack the tradition, then it doesn't have the same meaning for you.
Absolutely. What's the Matt Bear? Oh, you're working tomorrow, aren't you, Matt?
Can I ask Ethan a question
go ahead.
about that? Yeah, I was going to ask you, man, but do you guys, as ex-Jehovah Witnesses, what did you call them earlier?
J-Dubs?
Yeah. JW. I love that. As ex-J-Dubs, do you guys get together for a friends giving or anything now that you can do it?
Is there a community?
Yes,
that
of
is
course
so
there
cool.
Is. And that's exactly what I'm doing tomorrow night. I'm getting together with some ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and we're all having a Thanksgiving together.
I'm thrilled for you.
Good for you, man.
Yep.
What do you guys do? Not like a grace, but do you guys just before the dinner just say, "Hey, it's good to see everybody"?
Well, some people
like
do
that?
grace.
Okay, you still do grace.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't. I'm an atheist,
ignorant.
but others might.
Okay, very cool.
Well, cool, Matt. And you're working tomorrow, man?
Yeah, man.
I don't know that is there any traffic here, but like issues?
No, actually, other than just being Indianapolis, yeah, that's the only traffic issue we have.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, it's very, very large at the moment, especially on our downtown streets. I mean, you came through that the other day, didn't you? DoorDash Alley,
driving me nuts. I got off.
I get a text message from Nigel during rush hour. It's like 7:15. We're doing the wheel with Tony. It's like, get me out of this.
I got down here early for when I dropped my kids off at school. I just decided to head to work. Hammers out, and I come down West Street, try to turn left on Maryland. That's down to one lane. And then I rolled around down, turned left on South, just went straight on West. Tried to turn left on Illinois. Nope. That was closed. And then I finally just turned left on Meridian off of South, which went down to one lane. Just took me forever to navigate that downtown. Are those back open?
No.
Okay.
This could be eternal.
What about like if you're in Broadway, they do the drumstick dash. I know there's a lot of pre-Thanksgiving fun runs tomorrow.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for those wherever you are. I think there's one in Zville. I definitely know there's one in Broad Ripple, right?
Up in the Z, up in the B.
Yeah.
The B and the Z. The thing, and that's, I love these kinds of things, like the drumstick dashes. And even though I got caught in monumental traffic the other weekend, some traffic guy got stuck on a side street, couldn't move backwards or forwards. I still love seeing all the people dressed up as turkeys and pilgrims and running around in these 3 to 5K run walks. I think they're really cool. But yeah, there are going to be streets closed up in Broad Ripple tomorrow morning. I'm staying away from the Broad Ripple area, the greater Broad Ripple area, at least until early afternoon. And that includes like College Avenue, man. You know, College Avenue by Broad Ripple Avenue and to the south of that down to Kessler, that's going to be closed. Southbound Keystone Avenue is going to be closed during the drumstick dash. You can go northbound. But again, if I can stay clear of Keystone, well, any time in my life, but especially during the drumstick dash, I'm going to do that. Those streets will start closing at 7 a.m. and last until late morning, like around noon. So,
and then the big night, the Circle of Lights downtown Friday. It's going to be jam-packed down here Friday, especially with the Pacer game going on as well.
Yeah, they have high school football, too, this weekend.
And high school football. It is going to be a madhouse. What are any major – I mean, obviously the Circle's going to be shut down Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else that we need to know about?
Well, here's how I look at it. For a lot of people, I mean, there's already going to be 25,000 people downtown for, the football games and everything else and with the other things going on. That's the number that I'm hearing. With the Circle of Lights, it's a different animal because a lot of the people coming in to see the Circle of Lights haven't been downtown for a whole year. It's just
Good
Circle
point.
of Lights that they come down. And I'm telling you what, baby. There's going to be some changes when you come in here and look ahead. Please plan ahead if you can. Just give the map a quick look and allow for extra time. I know it sounds so cliche, allow for extra time, but it is so true because, and I think Ethan and I have talked about this very briefly, just like the road diets they're doing with Michigan Street and New York Street. You're going to have road construction there. College Avenue is now a two-way around Washington Street. So all these places you could be coming in from the east side, from the south side, almost expect to see some sort of lane taken at some point, and it's cool, man. It's
not cool. Don't get me started on what they're doing to Michigan and New York Street. It's not cool.
No, I get it. I got to drive through it every day. I find a new way into work every single day. It's exciting. Keeps me on my toes. But yeah, just expect a little extra time and expect maybe a lane closure or two as you're coming in. Plan accordingly, plan ahead, and just come have fun because it's downtown the Circle of Lights. This is the holiday kickoff. I sound like I'm on the Chamber of Commerce. This is the holiday kickoff.
We got a little preview of the Circle of Lights here a couple hours ago.
That was lit up out here.
A little test lighting.
Oh, badass.
Oh, yeah. Was that what they were doing? You think they were testing it? Yeah, it was lit
I
up
can only assume that's why they would turn those lights on before the celebration.
Is this still like the party night of the year, the biggest party night of the year, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
Kurt's like, yeah.
You're 27, Kurt. Are you Gen Z? Is that what? Are you Gen Z or millennial?
I played a millennial on Tony Katz in the Morning News.
But you're 27 years old.
Yeah, I'm still going to go out and party in Beech Grove, Indiana, 5th Ave Bar and Grill. Go see who comes out and hangs out, and I'll close the place down, get home about 4 o'clock in the morning. That's how it goes.
And there's in Matt, back in the day, I think you and I both probably in our heyday did some partying the night before Christmas Eve or Thanksgiving.
I would have been done blacked out by now. Yeah, there was some definite partying on the night before Thanksgiving. But I tell you what,
there's a different day and age now because there's actually options and not just $100 cab rides home. There's Ubers and stuff that you get for free.
Yeah, and
ride sharing.
And you really hope with all the ride sharing that the drinking and driving is curtailed a little bit. And and I say this, as a recovering alcoholic, that I was guilty of that, but the options are just limitless right now. There's this really cool thing, guys, that you can go to SoberRideIndiana.com right now, and it's SoberRideIndiana.com, and it's put on by the Indiana criminal justice system. And what it is you go there and you redeem a $10 voucher for Uber or Lyft. You just click on the button. It's really easy, and then you sign up, and they give you instructions on how to get it. But those vouchers just went live this morning, and they are good through the Thanksgiving Day evening tonight through tomorrow, and I believe through the weekend, but all those details are going to be at SoberRideIndiana.com. We are not affiliated in any way. This is a nonprofit as I understand it, but it's just one more option.
So $10 off, not free. But I feel like there are other options that bars sometimes have that you can do that, like they'll give you a free ride home or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Just check out all your options.
Plan ahead, man. And again, I know this doesn't have to do with drinking and driving, but it does have to do with going out tonight. And it's a mistake that I made frequently. Is take somebody with you. Watch your back a little bit, especially if you're female. Just watch out for people. I mean, I've seen the craziest things out in the city on the drinking holidays. I was on Mass Ave for St. Patrick's Day once, and somebody just walking down the street just unloaded and clocked this guy in the face just about 30 feet away from me. Yeah, it was. These are drinking holidays. They call them amateur hour for a reason. And Mass Ave is the best place to party. I love Mass Ave, love living there. I'm just saying that people get out of line and really out of hand on some of these drinking holidays. I call them amateur hour, but for a lot of people, it's their first time out in a long time. So please take a buddy and just plan on having fun.
How's the podcast going?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Supporting sobriety. The new episode just dropped today.
Thanks for asking, man. It's about the hopefully not contentious Thanksgiving Day celebrations coming up and having a sober Thanksgiving. Maybe wanting to say, you're sober, you're not contentious. I don't know, but it's Ryan and I talk. Ryan Hedrick, our great morning anchor here on 93 WIBC. We do the podcast supporting sobriety. You can find it anywhere. In this episode, we talked about hosting a sober Thanksgiving and what it means to your recovering alcoholic. And basically, to the conclusion we come to is invite us. We'd love to be invited. We haven't been invited anywhere in a long time, but that's our fault. That's on us. But still invite us, and then we'll get with our sponsor. We'll get with our sober groups, and then we will say, hey, we're going. Hey, we're not going. If we don't go, it's not personal. It is totally not. We're just protecting our sobriety because that comes first. So that's our latest episode, EP 46. We've done 46 of these things now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Ethan. Yeah, it's really cool. We love doing them, and they're there. Again, it's a podcast for the caregiver, the people that took care of us, me, a recovering alcoholic and addict, Ryan, a recovery addict. So it's our way of saying thank you, making that living amends, and doing a little bit better than what we were before.
Excellent. Matt Baird, Traffic Beast, thank you. Happiest of Thanksgivings to you and your family. And I know you're working tomorrow you're producing traffic in other cities and stuff. So, man, just try to enjoy yourself a little bit over the long weekend, and we'll see you Monday, okay?
For everybody in this room, everybody listening, thank you for letting me do what I do. It's a blessing.
It's a Hammer and Nigel show.
We know that around the holidays, things don't always go as planned. That's why Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles, the best warranty around. So make memories this season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. Every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified. Luxury, even the hard-to-find ones. No matter where your plans take you, spread cheer all season long, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way, with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lung cancer care.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
911, what's your emergency?
Por favor, necesito ayuda. Está borracho y creo que me va a pegar otra vez.
I will get someone to speak with you. Please stay on the line.
Hola, tengo su ubicación. Ayuda está en camino.
Getting past a language barrier is critical when first responders help Hoosiers. That's why the State 911 Board provides special tools for non-English speaking citizens to communicate with emergency services.
Si estás en peligro, aunque no hables inglés, podrás recibir ayuda en una emergencia rápidamente.
All Indiana 911 centers began offering translation services in over 240 languages in 2019. Now, people can send text messages for help in their native language to 911 and receive a translated text back from the dispatcher. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations.
Cuando llame o envíe un texto al 911, un servicio de traducción se asegurará que entiendan lo que está diciendo.
For more information, visit in911.net.
Gracias.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
Too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Avoid Black Friday frenzy at Sullivan Hardware and Garden with donuts, coffee, and mimosas early on the 29th while saving big. Shop, play, experience. Christmas with Sullivan's.
Matt Bear, what's going on?
Southbound 6570 downtown crash before Washington Street. It blocks the center lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back into the north. Split backing us up past Sherman Drive. Looking at northbound 65 on the northwest side. Crash clear at 71st Street. Still stop and go back to Lafayette Road. Northbound 465. Stop and go up to the interchange from West 56th Street. Inbound 65 loaded from 29th to the north split. That's a 17-minute delay. Inbound 70 stop and go traffic from Sherman Drive to the north split. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Are you ready for Friday Frenzy? Join us Friday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. for donuts and coffee at Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville. Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
43, kind of gloomy, kind of crappy. It's all right. It's Thanksgiving Eve. We're having fun. It's the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC. Time to play. Is it racist?
It's time to play. Is it racist?
Ethan Hatcher filling in for Hammer. If this is your first time playing Is It Racist, I understand that. If you're new to the program, here is AOC to let us know how to play Is It Racist.
Is it racist? Is something racist, yes or no?
Is it clear enough for you, Ethan? You got it? All right.
I think I'm down.
AOC explain it to you?
That, yeah.
Okay, interesting. The Miss Universe winner. She's the first Danish woman to win Miss Universe. Oh, boy, there's some backlash. She posted a video of herself lip-syncing a racial slur from a Jay-Z song on TikTok. that make sense?
Yes. I think I follow.
She sang along to Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z. And this has prompted calls for her to be stripped of her crown because she was singing along with it.
She was singing along with the famous entertainers.
She was lip syncing. She was lip syncing, and I believe in that song. I looked up the lyrics. I believe the N word is featured in that song. With the A on the end.
Fun times.
I don't believe this woman should be stripped of her crown. I don't think it's racist. I think
that's an overreaction.
It's an overreaction. I don't know that I would do it in this day and age, but
would she even be aware, though? Because like you and I are sitting here, we're broadcasters and we're Americans and we're aware of the woke culture that exists.
True.
Does that woke culture exist in
Netherlands?
Yeah, the Netherlands. Are the Danish down with that? I don't think so. I think probably like they wouldn't even be aware of America's cultural bullcrap.
I would say even when I was a kid, like when Straight Outta Compton came out, I kind of I got into gangster rap when I think it came out like 1987,
Nigel
88.
into gangster rap.
I think I got my hands on those. Like I remember in 6th grade listening to Run DMC. They aren't gangster rap, I know, but that kind of led into the Ghetto Boys at Run DMC and Ice-T. I was fascinated with all of it, and all of those, even at that age, 12, 13, 14, 15. I would listen to those songs, and I know every word of the song, but I think I even knew at that age that I wasn't supposed to say some of those words that they were allowed to say, that the rappers were allowed to say in those songs.
Yeah.
I think it was clear to me, even though I don't. In other words, I wasn't taught that. I just kind of knew.
Well, it's part of the American cultural thing, though.
Dude, and I'm telling you, I remember interviewing Daryl Mack, DMC from Run DMC, in person. I was just, Raising Hell, I believe was the name of their, one of their greatest albums ever. And I'm meeting him, and I said, hey, did you guys ever have a plan? Because I was a white boy in rural redneck Indiana, and I was fascinated with your stuff. And I'm sure there's a lot of kids like me all over the country, white kids like me. And he's like, oh yeah. Yeah, we were very aware that it wasn't just urban populations that liked our music. Everybody was totally aware of the fact, and even market, I'm just saying that, like, NWA, Ice-T, Ice Cube, Run DMC, they all knew that the white boys were listening to their stuff too.
If anything, doesn't that make it more diverse? The fact that more people are enjoying your music.
Well, the more people, the better. Dollar signs. That's the only color those rappers cared about was dollar signs. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Mobile Unlimited. Plus, for a limited time, find out how to get an $800 holiday bonus prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online to ComcastBusiness.com today. Ends 12/15/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Connection Pro. EcoBill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Owner of Hope Plumbing, Jack at the Sullivan House. We can't deal with any last-minute plumbing emergencies around the holidays. What do you suggest to get ready?
It's important to get your branch lines cleared because it could prevent a major disaster at some point over the holidays. And for the month of November, we have a $99 branch line clearing special for all your faithful listeners.
You heard them. Call Hope Plumbing for a $99 branch line clearing and get your home prepped for all the holiday fun.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
We've seen that sleep apnea bully stop breathing more than 100 times an hour. But this problem is solvable, and Advent has simple solutions that have been proven to be extremely effective.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, Sasha Nixon reports that an IMPD officer that was arrested last night by Whiteland police. A Noblesville student arrested last night for making threats on social media. And IU men's basketball not having a good time in the Bahamas today. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Trump nominees become targets. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The FBI investigating numerous bomb threats and swatting incidents against multiple cabinet nominees and other Trump appointees, including Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, chosen to be UN ambassador, also the CIA and defense chief nominees. Incoming border czar Tom Homan says he has not experienced the same level of threats reported since last night, but he tells Fox News,
I'm not going to be intimidated by these people. They're not going to silence me. Look, I'm going to do this job. I want to do this job because it's an issue of national security. So you're not going to shut me up. I'm not going away.
The White House says President Biden has been briefed and unequivocally condemns threats of political violence. More than 3 weeks after Election Day, U.S. House races are still being called. The Associated Press now says Republican Congresswoman Mariannette Miller Meeks wins re-election in Iowa after a 2022 rematch. But in California, Democrats flip a seat, with Derek Tran defeating Congresswoman Michelle Steele. Tran is a U.S. Army veteran and a son of Vietnamese refugees. Thousands of Lebanese displaced by fighting between Hezbollah and Israel are returning home for the first time in months as a ceasefire takes hold in Lebanon. Over the next 2 months, Israel will withdraw. Lebanese forces will advance in areas Iran-backed militants had been controlling, launching rockets at Israel since the day after Hamas attacks that sparked a war in Gaza. The U.S. making another push for a ceasefire there.
Hamas woke up this morning at 4 a.m. with a ceasefire that meant that Hezbollah is no longer supporting their cause. They've abandoned them. They have now signed an agreement to end the conflict in Lebanon, and the cavalry isn't coming. This is the time Hamas should come to the table.
White House lead negotiator Amos Hochstein says an agreement to free hostages in Gaza would lead to an end of that conflict. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An officer put in handcuffs. Cloudy, 41 degrees downtown with rain not far north in your radar. Temperatures dropped to the lower 30s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. An Indy Metro police officer has been arrested for hurting someone during a domestic battery incident. Sasha Nixon reports.
Whiteland police were apparently called to Officer Herman Means' home Tuesday night.
We responded to Countrywood Lane on report of a domestic in progress
Once my officers arrived, they began their investigation, and during their investigation, found probable cause to arrest.
That's Whiteland Police Chief Rick Shipp. Means will be placed on administrative leave while IMPD investigates. He is currently facing charges of domestic battery in the presence of a child and strangulation. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
A 7th grader at Noblesville East Middle School was in jail last night. He's accused of being the person behind a social media threat made yesterday that canceled classes at all of the district schools for the entire day. The FBI helped track down the middle schooler, who now faces a low-level felony charge of intimidation. Today's rain could turn into snow for some of you, says Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service.
Some places could experience a brief changeover to snow, which might amount to up to an inch, or a few places might get lucky and have a locally higher amounts than that if they find themselves under a heavy band of precipitation.
The further north you go, the more likely you're going to see some snow. It's the opposite if you're headed to southern Indiana over the holiday. Lebanon is a community ready for an economic boost, says its mayor, Matt Gentry. He calls Meta's nearly $5 billion investment in the Leap District a game changer.
People in Lebanon are very supportive of Leap. They see the potentials of what this can do for their families. Certainly a lot of the resistance is coming from people in the rural parts surrounding Lebanon outside of city limits.
Gentry told WIBC's Tony Katz that the Lebanon City Council approved incentives to try and bring a tech company to its advanced manufacturing and research park. And it looks like that's what's about to happen. And IU basketball's trip to the Bahamas is not off to a good start. The Hoosiers lost by 28 to Louisville this afternoon.
We had nothing for Louisville, so I got to give them credit because they played extremely well. And we got to somehow go back and regroup.
Head coach Mike Woodson after the loss. The good news for the Hoosiers, they've got a chance to bounce back and get a win tomorrow. The bad news, it's against Gonzaga. They're ranked third in the nation. Another tough matchup. Tip-off is at 2:30. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
With traffic in the fives at 5:05, here's Matt Baer.
Crash clear southbound 6570 at Washington Street. Still slow into the Northwood and back to rural. Crash clear northwest side. Northbound 65 at 71st. Stop and go traffic to West 56th Street. On the north side, eastbound 465 slow from Keystone Avenue to the White River. And southbound 465 on the east side drags from 70 to Washington. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop Grand Appliance for unbeatable Black Friday deals, like Bosch dishwashers for just $347 after rebate. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local Grand Appliance showroom. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rainy tonight into early Thursday with potential for some snow to mix in. Can't rule out a light accumulation as lows fall into the low 30s. Then for Thanksgiving Day, partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the low 40s with a light breeze. I'm Wish TV Storm Track Gate meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is out. Ethan Hatcher is in for the most part. Trump's picks for his cabinet, I think they're about all done, I think.
Yeah.
And, I mean, overall, are you satisfied?
I'm satisfied.
Ethan, as tough as you have been sometimes in the Republican Party and the Trump campaign and everything? I mean, it's kind of different this time around, I feel like.
It's a little different this time. The biggest qualm I had with his pick so far has already self-selected and ejected himself. I wasn't a big I wasn't a big fan of Matt Gaetz. I think he's got some skeletons in his closet. I don't think that the ethics report was flattering, or else he definitely would have kept his hat in the ring. Now, maybe is it indictable? Possibly not, due to complications with Greenberg and his ability to forge legal state IDs. But that's getting into the weeds.
That's his associate. That's his associate that's in jail now.
Correct.
The Gaetz' associate that's in jail.
But it doesn't matter anymore. He's out of the running. I think Pam Bondi is a much better trade. I mean, you want to talk about trading up. So I'm pretty satisfied on the main with Trump's picks. I also like the idea, even though it's a troll, I like the idea of Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency.
Vivek and Elon going to run that. And if there's anybody, I mean, look what look what Elon Musk did with X. He went in there and cleaned house, and it's the #1 news app in the United States right now on in terms of iPhone and the Apple thing. It's like above the New York Times, above Wall Street Journal.
Look at what trimming the fat will do.
Yeah, exactly. And which confused me because the narrative for X was like, oh, this is in the tank. I think it's worth more. I don't know if it's worth more now than it was, but it's certainly up there. I know his net worth is gone up in recent months, like upwards of $300 and some odd billion. One of the richest, if not, he's the richest man in the world. So I do like the Trump choices as well. His choice for the director for National Institute of Health, NIH. We all know those three letters from the COVID era. Dr. Jay Bhattacharya. Did I say that right? Bhattacharya. Dr. Jay Bhattacharya. You know that name?
I'm not familiar with the name.
Major critic of Fauci during the COVID lockdowns, vaccine mandates. He was the co-author of something called the Great Barrington Declaration, which was shut down by mainstream public health and social media. This was a document that was signed by tens of thousands of medical and public health scientists and medical practitioners. Basically, it was an alternative to the lockdowns in October of 2020 that was put out right there. And Jay was professionally slandered for talking about some of the most obvious scientific stuff surrounding COVID. And he said this Great Barrington Declaration, which, again, was, he was slandered as a fringe epidemiologist. He's from Stanford. And the other guys that wrote it were Harvard and Oxford. These guys, the former head of the NIH, Francis Collins, and along with Fauci, sent emails. We know now they commissioned a devastating takedown, a quote, devastating takedown. That was in the emails of Jay and his colleagues, according to the emails that were released. So anyway, the Great Barrington Declaration from the new head of the NIH, which has to be confirmed by the Senate, obviously. Bhattacharya said that's like, look, man, this is like the least original thing I've ever written because it's all standard public health practices. But that was kind of the point. And again, I like this guy for the head of the NIH because he was not afraid to stand up and stand out. He was canceled. He was shunned by the likes of Fauci and Francis Collins and all the other quote unquote, mainstream media. It's just a voice out there. It was like kind of a beacon for guys like me that we're looking around even a month into COVID. And it's like, wait a minute, this is not exactly what it's made out to be. And then later with the vaccine mandates.
To the vaccine.
Yeah, right. Vaccine waters. I knew like within a month. I don't know how long it took you to be kind of looking around like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
It took me a minute because, look, I underestimated the willingness of the medical community to participate in mass deception to influence the outcome of an election. I thought that doctors would, put their professionalism above their political interests, and I was sorely mistaken. When I fought the final straw where I had enough was after they had implemented the vaccine, which they told us was the key to reopening the economy. And then as soon as everybody got the jab, they're like, we'll keep that closed.
And then they lied to us. Boy, you talk about overselling a product. They oversold it. They misled us. They said, Rachel Maddow goes on MSNBC, if you take the vaccine, you won't spread the virus. You won't get the virus. You won't get it. And then the revelation that the CDC and Fauci and everybody are just kind of around a table discussing social distancing. Well, you know what? Maybe we should make it 12 feet. No. People aren't going to go for 12 feet. Let's do 3 feet. Well, if 3 feet's not long enough, let's just agree. Let's say 6 feet. 6 feet social distancing. That number was made out.
Split the difference.
Poof.
Yeah.
Out of thin air. And this guy, Jay Bhattacharya, and a lot of other guys like Alex Berenson, who's I'm a big fan of, just one of the COVID dissenters, a big critic of the mandates and the lockdowns, and just obviously now kids were the most who were least at risk. They weren't vectors for this disease. If they did get it, they cleared it within 24 hours. I know both of my kids had it back in the day and were done with it within 24 hours, and they didn't even get that sick. And yet the social distancing thing within schools, I know, like, this is probably something you don't identify with exactly, but like every time my kid was in 6 feet of somebody who's in another 6 feet of somebody that had COVID at school, they were out for 5 days until they got tested, and those tests weren't readily available in 2020. If you remember, you had to go get the PCR test.
Everything was such a nightmare. It had gotten to such ridiculous, overblown proportions that they were stifling dissent from people who were just pointing out the obvious, that like, oh, hey, there's a research facility that's investigating contagious disease, right in, so happens to be in the very city where this terrible disease originated from.
Yeah, you're talking about.
I wonder if there's a connection there.
You're talking about
you're racist.
Yeah, the Wuhan lab.
Yeah.
If
Wuhan.
you said, I tell you what, Nancy Pelosi marched right down to Chinatown. Literally. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but it did. Nancy Pelosi. See, I'm in Chinatown. There's nothing to be scared of here. There's nothing to be scared of here. And you were shut down if you suggested that the virus came out of a lab. You were shut down if you thought that possibly there was some gain of function research going on, which is research to make that virus deadlier and more contagious, more viral, or whatever, however you say it. And any of those questions, including from legitimate doctors, PhDs, MDs, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, these guys were absolutely shut down on YouTube for having a discussion, Ethan. If you had a discussion about whether or not this thing came from a lab, whether or not certain people were more at risk than others, YouTube just shut you down.
Yeah, video removed, you'd get blocked. It's crazy.
Do we know if the phones are working yet? Kurt, because I want to do, look, keep trying to call 239-939, or maybe should we hold off?
Give it a minute because we got to reboot the system.
I want to kick it over to Matt Bear. We'll do some traffic, and then we're going to try to do open phones about awkward or heated moments with family this Thanksgiving over politics. Do you have rules at Thanksgiving? Are there certain guidelines that you have to follow? No politics at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and I want to know if you've ever had a heated interaction at a holiday party with your family. 239-9393. We're going to try to reset the phones and get that going here. Matt Bear, what's up with traffic?
All right, Nigel, looking at westbound 70 stop-and-go traffic before rural down to Washington Street. Inbound 65 still tight from 21st to Meridian Penn. Northwest side, northbound 65 at 71st. That crash did clear. Still stop-and-go traffic back to the 465 Rams. It was slow again on northbound 65 on the northwest side from 86th Street up to the Dogleg. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
43, light rain, kind of gloomy, cloudy. The American Standard Heating Weather Center. I don't know. Maybe you can call. You can keep trying to call. We're going to try to reset the phones again. There's an ongoing problem in this studio forever. 239-9393. Awkward or heated moments with the family around the Thanksgiving dinner table regarding politics. Has it ever happened? What did you do? Do you have rules? 239-9393. You might try to be calling. It's just not showing up. Is anybody calling in our studio right now? So we're going to try to reset the phones. Give it a try. 239-9393. We'll be back.
Tony Katz.
Matt Bear, can I get a woo from you?
Woo! You'll Yuletide. Merry Christmas, everybody. But
Yuletide was a great wrestler. He would perform the mistletoe.
That was his manager, Mistletoe. Yeah,
right.
Running from the crowd.
You are the classy Freddie Blassie of WIBC. You really are.
You're Jake the Snake. So.
That's just rude.
No.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We trust Bill to help us with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impacts on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income. That money's rightfully yours. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
We know that around the holidays, things don't always go as planned. That's why Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles, the best warranty around. So make memories this season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. Every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified. Luxury, even the hard-to-find ones. No matter where your plans take you, spread cheer all season long, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing, and many times the holidays are when sewer stoppages must be dealt with, and the best of the best for that job is LD Smith Plumbing. They have the perfect equipment and the right people to clean your drains, or help you replace them if they're uncleanable because they're broken down. Best of all, they'll fix your sewer drains with modern piping that will last for decades to come. They clean up the dirty and stinky jobs with plumbing solutions that work. Find them online at ldsmithplumbing.com. That's ldsmithplumbing.com.
The holidays are a magical time to get engaged. At Shane Company, we're here to help you create your dream engagement ring in just 3 easy steps. Choose a setting that speaks to your style. Compare diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. Then personalize it with a decorative crown and special engraving. Or choose a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, you'll find everyday competitive prices, a no-pressure environment, and an unmatched free lifetime warranty. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Strike gold with the best ticket deals of the season.
Halliburton on the move, bouncing it into the lane. You will not see a better pick and roll than that. Turner dunks it with the right hand.
Pacer tickets starting at just $5.
Now he goes behind the back. Turner for 3.
Gold Friday presented by KeyBank is your chance to get tickets to some of the biggest games starting at just $5. These deals won't last long. Head to Pacers.com/Gold Friday. That's Pacers.com/Gold Friday to get yours.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Join Sullivan Hardware and Garden early on Friday. Enjoy a little breakfast and save on gifts, decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Shop, play, experience Christmas with Sullivan's.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
My advice to you, start drinking heavily.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
All right.
93 WIBC.
Okay, I don't know if the phones are working or not. The question was, have you had any awkward or heated moments with the family over Thanksgiving at the dinner table regarding politics, Donald Trump, the election? Do you have rules at Thanksgiving? Can we try to pull somebody, because we weren't getting notified at phone calls at first.
We'll give it a shot.
And then Kurt's trying to take phone calls, but he can't. Now they can't hear him. Let's just do like roulette it. Can we pull somebody up? Go for it. They're up. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Can you hear me?
Hey.
Can you hear me? Oh, they can't hear us?
Oh, they can't hear us. We can hear them, though. That's progress.
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, though.
Number one rated radio station in the city of Indianapolis. Number one afternoon show in talk radio, and we cannot get the phones to work.
Phones are resetting one more time.
Phones are resetting?
It's not going to work, Kurt. It's already too late.
I think that was funny, just taking phone calls and listening to people say hello. Hello? Let's try that again. So do you, Ethan, like your friends, knowing what you do for a living, do you have friends that disagree with you on things that are still, does it get a little dicey? Do you get into arguments, heated things around the dinner table or anything
not ever
like
really
that?
Unpleasant. I think respectful and healthy friendships, you have the ability and the freedom to disagree, and not necessarily have the same conclusions, but be able to voice your opinion and then still have a healthy relationship.
I think I kind of turn off a switch a little bit when I leave the studio.
Yeah.
And it's not an issue really with my family. I know there's people in my family that probably disagree with half the things I say. It just doesn't really come up. We talk about some of the anything.
Kurt's trying so hard. He is a
pot
trooper.
Somebody else up. Just pot somebody else up.
This is the true definition of caller roulette.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, you can?
Oh, they can. Hey.
What's your name?
Hey. My name is Drew.
Drew. Okay. Awkward or heated moments with family this Thanksgiving regarding politics? Anything?
No, not this time. But there's been some things that have happened.
Like?
Well, World War III was almost started over some gravy.
Oh, how'd this happen? What was wrong with that gravy? Was it radioactive?
Well, there was nothing wrong with the gravy. My younger brother and I were going for the gravy at the same time, and I happened to get to it first. And I used it all up and had a smirk on my face while I was doing it.
Okay, you had what on your face? Oh, you had a smirk on your face. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, Drew, that's...
staring right at him.
That's a good way to get revenge on the brother.
All right, let's go to the next one here. So, hi, you're on the air with Hammer and Nigel. Ethan filling in for Hammer. I'm Nigel. What's up?
Nigel, Can you hear me?
Yeah, buddy, can you hear me?
I know what's wrong with your phones, man. Remember when Kendall exploded the guy up in Westfield? He has polls downtown, dude.
You're talking about the superintendent of Westfield Schools.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'm the patriarch of the family now. I may only be 63, but around our house for the years, what happens is we don't talk to each other anyway. So when you're a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. So once a year, it's all we have to see each other. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I get that.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I'll see you next year when you're voting for Biden, right?
Okay. Thank you, sir. Who's next? Do we have anybody on the line? Caller roulette. No,
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name?
Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is Greg.
Greg, what's up? Have you ever had a heated moment with family members or friends? And during the holidays, we're talking about politics?
We had one just for yesterday.
Oh, no.
And it's not a family member, but it's somebody that I would have never thought to do this. It was actually my wife's eye doctor. She went off on my wife.
Your wife's eye doctor?
Yeah, the optometrist.
Yeah?
Yeah, we knew she was liberal. She's made that point clear to us. But my wife called me yesterday when I was coming home. I'm a truck driver. I was coming home. She said, I felt really uncomfortable.
It was a bad situation. She even said a few cuss words that Trump is in trouble and he did this sexually with somebody, and it was really bad. My wife just really felt uncomfortable with the whole situation.
Well, I
pretty much shamed my wife for voting for Trump.
It's weird that you would. I mean, the last person I think I'd talk politics.
Liberal
with
optometrist.
maybe time to find a new optometrist. We got somebody else on the line here. Hello. Yeah, the phone's kind of working, but aren't. Can you hear me?
It was working.
Anybody
just
there?
a second ago.
Yeah, I've already been on, man.
Oh,
it's cool. It's Jeff again. See ya.
Jeff, hang up the phone. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello, you're on the air.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. What's your name?
Jim.
Jim?
How's that?
Good, man. Thanksgiving, politics, heated moments with family members. Go.
No, I haven't had any issues with that. I had a daughter who was not my president person. But anyway, I've been trying to get you guys for months. I want to know why Dairy Queen dropped the banana split blizzard.
Man, I can get you the number for Dairy Queen if you want. Let me put you on hold. I'll get you that number, buddy. Anybody else?
Dairy Queen on
Funny,
the Thanksgiving
thank God.
segment.
Oh, dear. Thank God.
He's bringing up solid points.
I mean, that is a solid point. I'm not going to bother with the Dairy Queen number. Dairy Queen is that's some good food there. Kids go there all the time. There's one downtown in the Village in Zionsville.
Long chili cheese dog, my friend. You can't long chili cheese dog.
Nothing can replace the Frosty Boy in New Palestine. That is the soft serve ice cream dispensary of my heart.
I grew up with the Dairy Bar.
Nice.
And Liston there at the four-way stop, which used to be a blinking red light. Now it's an actual real stoplight there. We even got a Dollar General and a gas station in Liston.
Dang, moving up in the world.
Tony Kinnett, the Tony Kinnett Cast and Daily Signal coming up next, right after a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
One of IMPD's own arrested. 41 degrees, cloudy over the circle. The rain to the north on your radar. 35 is where your low temp is likely to settle tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:29. An Indy Metro police officer's been arrested for hurting someone during a domestic battery incident. Whiteland police determined Tuesday night that Officer Herman Means had battered and restrained a female at the home, and now...
The initial report that we have our investigation is forwarded to IMPD for their disciplinary hearing for their officer. As far as the investigation of the charges being done will be done by the Whiteland Police Department.
Whiteland Police Chief Rick Shipp Means will be placed on administrative leave while IMPD looks into the whole thing. Several of Donald Trump's cabinet picks are being threatened. Fox's Brian Yennis reports.
Sources tell Fox News that nearly a dozen of President-elect Trump's new administration picks have been threatened. At least we now know the identities of at least 5 of those appointees and nominees that have received those threats. We begin with Trump's pick for CIA Director John Ratcliffe, then his nominee for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Brooke Rollins, his pick for Agriculture Secretary, and his nominee for the Environmental Protection Agency, Lee Zeldin, who says a pipe bomb threat was sent to his family.
Police have responded to several of these incidents. The FBI has also said they were made aware of those threats. Lebanon is a community ready for an economic boost, says its mayor Matt Gentry. He calls Meta's nearly $5 billion investment into the LEAP district a game changer.
People in Lebanon are very supportive of LEAP. They see the potentials of what this can do for their families. Certainly a lot of the resistance is coming from people in the rural parts surrounding Lebanon outside of city limits.
Gentry told WIBC's Tony Katz the Lebanon City Council had approved incentives to try and bring a tech company like Meta to its manufacturing and research park. Now, wasn't the way IU men's basketball wanted to start the battle for Atlantis out in the Bahamas? John Herrick reports.
On Wednesday afternoon, the Hoosiers fell behind early and never led, ultimately losing to the Louisville Cardinals 89-61. Hoosier head coach Mike Woodson called the performance embarrassing.
We couldn't make shots. We turned the ball over, and it just led to easy buckets for them. And once they got the cushion, they felt good about their play. So, it's just something that we're going to have to learn from.
Indiana's now 4-1 on the season. They play again Thanksgiving Day at 2:30. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
With traffic at 531, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, southbound 69 before 96th Street. This is police activity blocking the left center lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to 116th Street. Delayed time at 12 minutes. Crash. Westbound 465 on the north side after Meridian 31. Left lane is blocked. Traffic stop and go back to the Meridian Street interchange. Northbound 65 slows out of 465 up to West 71st Street on the northwest side. In downtown, southbound 65-70 stop and go traffic from the north split down to Fletcher Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Are you ready for Friday Frenzy? Join us Friday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. for donuts and coffee at Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville. Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rainy tonight into early Thursday with the potential for some snow to mix in. Can't rule out a light accumulation as lows fall into the low 30s. Then for Thanksgiving Day, partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the low 40s with a light breeze. I'm Wish TV Storm Track Gate meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Nigel. Going to go to the hotline, bring on Tony Kinnett, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast, weeknights at 7, right after our show on 93 WIBC. Tony, also an investigative reporter for Daily Signal and a former IPS administrator and teacher. Hey, real quick, we can touch on this and move on, but you kind of predicted the whole Matt Gaetz fiasco. Former Florida congressman picked by Trump to be his AG. Matt Gaetz in a little hot water with his House Ethics Committee. Some sexual shenanigans with an alleged underage girl. Maybe some payments were made, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, Matt Gaetz steps down, backs out. You weren't too high on the Matt Gaetz pick to begin with. What do you think of all this?
So I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I got the right answer, and I got the wrong work to get there. So you ever been in school, and you just like you tried your best, and you got the right answer somehow, but I mean, somehow you used Napoleon in a math question and somehow got the right answer, that kind of a thing. My original idea is I hate that Trump is playing 3D candy cane chess like excuse. Trump is doing something that doesn't look particularly good. So people will say, well, this is just 3D chess. See, he's trying to actually do this. I usually hate that. However, looking at Gaetz, who is just from the surface level as a PR pick, knowing that Trump has made a big tent kind of push in this campaign to get everybody in, I thought that's a really weird pick. Maybe, and I don't normally do this, maybe he's just trying to, God bless him, he knows that Gaetz is not going to make it through, so he's the sacrificial lamb. So they'll get rid of Gaetz.
Yeah, a little bait and switch, right? A little bait and switch?
Yeah, so then by the time that Trump picks his second person, who will also be a bulldog, by then everyone will go, well, at least it's not Gaetz, and they'll slide right through, and Trump will have just a kick-butt AG. And that's what happened, but I don't believe that that's why Trump did it. It would be cool if it was, but what it looks like what happened, here's the inside scoop, and I can actually confirm this is the inside scoop on this. Okay. J.D. Vance is running a huge part of the transition team. So Trump says, J.D., I want this guy right here. Get him in my cabinet. So J.D. will then go to the different senators, and he'll say, hey, look, you're Markowski. Everyone hates you. You're in Alaska. But would you consider voting for this person? And Murkowski goes, gross, like no way. And that happened enough times that Vance went back to Trump and said, look, guys, I don't think this is going to happen. So then they went with Pam Bondi, who is way, way, way better than Matt Gaetz, in my opinion.
She's got the experience. And what I've been saying, too, is that Trump wants good communicators in his cabinet, unlike some people like Karine Jean-Pierre, for example, the current White House press secretary. He wants people that know how to, like Pete Hegseth is a great communicator. I think that's some of the reason why he's picking some of these people.
So there's a really stupid idea in American corporate society that what you need to do to be qualified for a position is you really need to have 15 years of experience in the exact title of the position you're going for. And if you're not qualified. Oh, the horror. You'll probably burn the whole office down and we'll all die. That's stupid. As a teacher, I'm a good broadcaster because what I do is I speak in front of people. I take complex ideas and I break them down into brass tacks and analogies that people who don't sit in this tepid bath water of political filth all day. They don't have time to dig into all of that. So I kind of break it down. That makes me a good broadcaster, even though I don't have a degree in broadcasting journalism or whatever. So it's the same in a lot of these cabinet positions. Trump is not picking the 14-star general who's once ran the DEI division of the 14th Logistical Wing out of Malcolm Air Force Base. Get out of here. That's not what Trump is doing. He's picking people who have good skills. By the way, some of them who are just like really cold. I've actually done a lot of research into Trump's education pick. McMahon, oh my goodness.
Right.
Dude, she's got a heart of ice and steel. I wouldn't cross her if you paid me. Man, she is, dude, she's sharp. And like chaired on the board of the America First Policy Institute, great crew over there. Man, I'm telling you, he's got some cold calculating people in that cabinet nomination slate.
Speaking with Tony Kinnett, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast, weeknights here at 7 o'clock on 93 WIBC. You mentioned DEI there in that opening segment. Walmart recently is another corporation that has announced they're getting rid of all their woke DEI policies. I think they were kind of shamed into it almost by some social media influencer. But, you know, like companies like John Deere and Ford and even schools in Georgia, colleges in Georgia are saying they're getting rid of all this DEI woke crap. What do you make of all that?
So Starbuck is actually a colleague of mine. He's a really good guy. Yeah. He's another, I would say, kind of independent journo, but just basically guy on the right who does media, broadcast,
and he would,
whatever you want to call him.
That Starbuck guy was the one that was kind of approaching Walmart and saying, I'm getting ready to expose all this stuff to you guys. Let's have a chat and see if we can make some changes. And they more or less capitulated, but they made it sound like they had this in the works for years, right?
Well, they have. I mean, they have had this in the works for years, and I can say this that both things are correct here. That yes, there are more scandals. Yes, we're heading into the holiday season. Walmart's already on thin ice because of Amazon, and so do they really need this right now? Especially with Jeff Bezos moderating just a little bit because he wants to make money. So what is the underlying truth of all of this? Here's what you guys need to remember at home, folks. Tony Kinnett was right. Take that home, put it on the Thanksgiving table. I've been saying for the last couple of years that these corporations and these government entities have been hiring DEI staff out of college to do this racially and sexually discriminatory garbage that hurt the company. And that also, not only did it hurt the company objectively, like, made things run worse, was a big, huge problem. I mean, come on, even you and I have gotten the official DEI emails from respective companies every once in a while. That doesn't help. And then when we found studies that said, yeah, you're right, this doesn't help at all, media outlets tried to quash the stories. And so right at the same time the Walmart business has come out, the New York Times, Bloomberg, and several other left-wing outlets have been caught basically squashing any scientific or analyzing effectiveness studies that they don't like the outcomes of, which basically just say, hey, DEI is really bad for everyone, period.
Yeah, it's bad for everyone, including, imagine if you're a minority and you worked your ass off and you got to the position at your pinnacle of your career and somebody says, oh, they're just there because of a DEI hire. And then on the opposite end, if you're a guy, a Caucasian or a white guy that works his ass off and deserves a job and you don't get it for somebody else because of their gender, their identity, their race over merit, then that's bad as well.
Nigel, and here's the catch, though. We all know this. I mean, especially the 93 WIBC listeners out there in central Indiana. They know this. This is not new information to them. Let's talk about something in the middle of that, though. Let's talk about mixed people, of one of whom I am. Now, I don't actually talk a lot about the fact that I am a federally registered member of the Cherokee tribe, unlike Elizabeth Warren or some white girl at a college party who's like 132nd Cherokee or whatever. As an actual part member of the tribe, also who is is married also as well, a mixed woman. I just want to point out, no one cares about people in this country who have a mixed heritage because they don't fit in anywhere. And I saw this when I was at IPS. They'd have these discussions about how black people feel or how Latinx people feel or whatever. And I would ask, well, what about people who are like half Latinx? Or I would say Hispanic, and that upset them. But, or what about people who are a half black or, 1/4 black, or they have a mixed heritage? They didn't know what to do. They didn't, because then you have to actually consider that it's your experiences that make you who you are, not just, I don't know, whatever color appears on the Home Depot paint splotchy card.
Yeah, right. Could you stick around for a second segment? I wanted to get your take on Kamala Harris breaking her silence and releasing this cringeworthy clip. If you haven't seen that, we'll play that audio for you next. If we have time, I want to get into these high school protests. Lebanon High School having a they don't like their principal at Lebanon High School.
Saw that. Yeah, sure. No problem, man.
We'll get to that next with Tony Kinnett on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, it's Casey from the Kendall and Casey Show. Did you turn your scales back 15 pounds? Weigh in is Monday, 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
If you're looking for something unique to bring to your holiday party, try Barkeep Vodka. If you drink vodka and you haven't tried Barkeep yet, you're missing out. These guys are all about local. They truly have made a better product, and they use this compression filtering system. It's clean. It reduces the bite and burn and aftertaste. It's a smooth vodka and a much better value than almost any other top-shelf vodka. BarkeepVodka.com for a list of locations available at grocery stores and liquor stores everywhere. That's BarkeepVodka.com.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good? Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Mobile Unlimited. Plus, for a limited time, find out how to get an $800 holiday bonus prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online to ComcastBusiness.com today. Ends 12/15/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Connection Pro. EcoBill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Planning on inviting friends and family over sometime soon? Whether you're hosting a football watch party, Friendsgiving, or Turkey Day celebration, you know all about the hustle to get the house looking perfect. But there's one thing you can't fix on your own: the sticking windows and doors, drywall cracks, uneven floors, or mold and mildew smells. Things that stand out. Indiana Foundation Service knows that all of these signs point to major damage building up in your foundation, crawl space, or basement, and it'll only get worse over time. Don't worry. With a free foundation inspection from Indiana Foundation Service, the team's experts will identify your home's issue at the source. You'll want to get ahead of these problems sooner rather than later. Visit IndianaFoundation.com today to book your free inspection with a no-obligation quote included. Indiana Foundation Service. There's a reason they are the trusted local experts.
Indiana Foundation Service. Reliability from the ground up.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
Pat Sullivan here, and the holidays are right around the corner, which means all the food prep in your home and then scraps and leftovers thrown right down the garbage disposal. Don't let a clogged kitchen sink ruin your holiday spirit. Consider upgrading your garbage disposal before it's too late. Call my friends at Hope Plumbing today for a premium garbage disposal and get $100 off. Leave the dirty work to Hope Plumbing. Visit hopeplumbing.com for all their holiday specials today.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Stop by Sundown Gardens for all your live greenery this holiday season. Happy holidays from Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road. SundownGardens.com.
Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month.
Express the heartwarming message that says love is about being together. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be the symbol that says I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Bear, what is going on with traffic?
Yeah, Nigel, looking at southbound 69 before 96. Police activity in the left center lane that's causing stop-and-go traffic back to 116th Street for a 10-minute delay. Also on the north side, westbound 465 after Meridian 31, it's a crash blocking the left lane. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Are you ready for Friday Frenzy? Join us Friday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. for donuts and coffee at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
42 drizzle at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Back with Tony Kinnett. Tony Kinnett Cast. Tonight at 7 o'clock right after our show on 93 WIBC. Tony is also an investigative reporter for Daily Signal. Kamala Harris, Vice President. She went on vacation after that election, after getting embarrassed and boat raced in that election, and she has broken her silence. Let me play for you what she had to say to her constituency.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage.
I can't stand. I got to stop it right there. I mean,
this
first
is
of
the
all,
most depressing, old Care Bear, halfway down a bottle of scotch. It's like they brought one of the 90s. They got Vivian from Out of the Box. You know, they brought her out of the old TV show, brought her out there and said, you have powers and abilities and also this fifth of scotch.
Yeah, first of all, America's Wine Mom did look like she downed a box of wine before she released this statement, and she sounded drunk. I mean, that's a speech you'd give your best man after the wedding reception. You both are drunk at the end of the night. She looked haggard, by the way. She just looked defeated, and whoever her staff is that is handling her must hate her to let her put something like that out.
I mean, given that we found out Doug Emhoff had beaten former people he was around, I'm still enraged that no one has looked at Kamala's, clearly sunken, depressed state and thought, man, has she been spending time around Doug Emhoff? That's not a joke, by the way. I'm not laughing.
Her husband, Doug Emhoff, yeah.
Who beat a former girl, who slapped former. No one's talked about that, but this is the kicker, though. I really do love that we're calling her America's Wine Mom, because that's not a nickname that can just be made up on the spot, man. Dude, I've seen that a couple places now. I love it.
As Drew Barrymore called her, she's Mamala. She's America's mom. Hey, real quick, you're a former administrator and teacher for IPS. I'm wondering what you think when students this protest at Lebanon High School, the kids don't like the principal. They said he's verbally abusive, fired a teacher, unjust. They called it a protest on the news. I just saw a bunch of kids shouting in the hallway with other kids breakdancing in the background. When something like this happens, what goes through your mind as somebody that used to teach kids and was around all that stuff?
I'm just mad at everyone in this entire story. Every single party in the story. First of all, I remember after the student protest walkout thing, where all of my middle school students were going to walk out to protest school violence, so they went and sat in a hallway, which is the first place that an active shooter would be in a shooter situation. Student protests have and always will be extremely stupid in high schools. Number two, I also really want to point out that I'm disappointed in those reporting on the story, because they say that the principal, they're mad at him for verbal abuse and harassment. I'm sorry, what did he say? What did he say that was so abusive and harassing?
The kid, one of the kids that was leading the protest said they called somebody Miss Piggy and somebody else too ugly for a date to prom or something like that. And that's just hearsay. That's what the kid was saying on camera.
Look,
if a principal's being verbally abusive, that needs to be addressed, of course.
I mean, sure it does, but also at the same time, that's really freaking hilarious. I'm sorry. Like, that's funny. I'm sorry. That's too soft. Even a bunch of high schoolers are going,
I know.
"He called someone Miss Piggy."
But the fact that they think they're going to have some say on whoever they hire to lead schools or be a superintendent or a principal, that's a joke.
Teachers and the students need to vote on new principal candidate. Honey, that's not how this works. That ain't how this works.
Hey, Tony, I really, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your input, and thank you for taking time out of your day. Check out the Tony Kinnett cast tonight at 7 o'clock, a Thanksgiving Eve edition. You and your beautiful family have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Tony, and we'll talk to you next week.
You too, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is making its way back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 19th with an all-new show, The Lost Christmas Eve Tour. For tickets and more information, head to WIBC.com.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Avoid Black Friday frenzy at Sullivan Hardware and Garden with donuts, coffee, and mimosas early on the 29th while saving big. Shop, play, experience. Christmas with Sullivan's.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio, and I'm Marek Mazurek. The Community Foundation of Muncie and Delaware County has released its plan to strengthen the arts landscape in Muncie. The Creative Space Action Plan was conducted by Minneapolis-based Art Space Consulting and outlines a series of goals to expand affordable creative spaces and support the arts as a driving force for economic growth.